Mic check, check 2 1 2. Are we live? I need all the information in the chat right now because we are using
microphone check.
we are using a different streaming service or platform that your boy is not used to. But yeah, we got checks in the chat.
Confirmed. Elwin says we are live.
Okay. Cool. And there goes Dylan doing his thing. Oh my gosh. With the gifted Mimbies. What's up, Dylan? Part of the Patronus Squad. Oh my gosh. Dylan supports probably like all 5 of these channels here. So and the new baby daughter. So yeah, shout out to Dylan. Oh my gosh. Let me get the tweeting and stuff done right quick. I literally just got here like 5 minutes ago, so they were here before me. So it just shows you how professional I am. Oh,
how like storm is it storming?
Not yet. It is not storming. We are expecting a thunderstorm like literally right now, but the radar is looking clear so far. So,
but perfect mood for talking about this.
Yeah. I mean, perfect mood to kind of chill in and sit down and talk with friends about gaming, which is what we're going to do. So yeah, let's get these intros out the way. Yo, this is your boy James over at XpectoGO, bringing you guys the latest and greatest and this type of content. I don't know what you would call it.
I was like, what's he gonna say? I don't know.
Oh yeah, so use faces type content. And today we have a special live stream for you guys over here over at XpectoGO. I am here with a great group of people, illustrious panel, I guess you could say, of content creators who we all met through Hogwarts Legacy. So I wanted to talk about games with them. A lot of them are covering other games now, on top of sprinkling in a little bit of Hogwarts Legacy now that that hype has kind of died down. So I wanted to get their thoughts. Maybe they might even introduce me to games that's not on my radar, maybe nudge me into trying type of games on our Twitch channel or whatever. But I wanted to just hear their thoughts on it since they're covering so much. And then later on in the stream, we'll talk about Hogwarts Legacy. And all of us got to play a hands-on preview literally like 6 months ago. So we'll talk about that and look back. So
crazy.
Yeah, so crazy. So crazy. 6 months. Hey, we've been waiting for it for 80 years and 6 months. We had it. Yeah. So first I want to introduce our Ravenclaw. We have all houses represented, by the way.
Yes, so exciting.
It's crazy. Never happened.
Totally planned.
Yeah. I was like, Andy, you're a Slytherin? Oh my gosh. We have all 4 houses.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, Wizard PhD. Let's get the introductions out the way. Wizard PhD.
Yes, I actually have a Ravenclaw. This is the Rowena Ravenclaw, the diadem one. This was gifted to me. Shout out to JBS, aka Josh, aka Lucas Sparrowbit, whatever nickname he feels like going by that day.
He has 80 of them now.
Yeah. Hello, I'm Prof. Lynette. My channel is Wizard PhD. Obviously covered Hogwarts Legacy, but also you might have seen me on the Wizarding World official YouTube channels because I've been doing some videos for deep dives into lore, which is literally my favorite thing in the entire world.
Yes.
And one of my favorite videos that we did was about the House of Black, the traitors of the House of Black. So if you haven't checked that out,
yes,
it's my favorite one because it's like, you know, it's dark and I love the darkness. Even though I smile and am bubbly all the time, I love dark themes. So that's kind of my vibe. Yeah, I will. I can talk. I was gonna say I don't want to like be like, yeah. Let me tell you about what have I been doing since Hogwarts Legacy.
So where are they now?
Yeah,
that's like on Wizarding World. She's on IGN.
Yeah,
how is this happening? This is amazing.
Yeah, it was really funny. It was because of Hogwarts Legacy, actually. So I got in touch with someone who does the IGN Guide. So IGN Guides is a separate channel, and they produce videos, basically video walkthroughs. And of course, IGN has the bigger wiki. and interactive maps that they cover a bunch of games. So I did a couple of videos for IGN for Hogwarts Legacy. So one was on how to learn all 3 unforgivable curses, which of course features I almost wore my Sebastian shirt, but I was like, no, it's calm down, Lynette. Everyone knows you love Sebastian. And then also like a where to find troll bogeys one. So I did a couple of videos for them, and then I mean, I can talk more about this when we start talking about games, but yeah, I cover games now for IGN and doing video walkthroughs. Sometimes I do like wiki, like text things, and so I do like a bunch of like freelance work for them. It's been really fun.
And you're trying to get into the gaming space anyway, so this is a great opportunity for you.
Oh man,
yeah, no, it's so great. Good. It's so also good. Weird to like. Not weird. It's good weird to not be in front of the camera. And so I'm just like, I'll crank out. I probably did around like 75 videos for them for Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh my
and I mean, a lot of it was just, not all of it was voiceover. It was, walkthrough. So I did like all of the every single side adventure that you see on their channel, I did. I did some shrines, and then I did one big video that was cooking tips, and that one was like
that one
took hours and hours. It was so much work, but I was like so excited because like okay, let's do it. All right, I've talked long enough. I'm gonna pass it back.
No, this is amazing, Lynette. Seriously, it's so great to see like the community, like our members just keep growing.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes,
absolutely.
Yes. We kind of went through it, like Lynette and I and all of us who are in the Wizards Unite community, kind of like once that game kind of died down, we kind of like split and kind of like find our own niches and stuff. Some of us stayed in the wizarding world while others went like other avenues, but it's always good to like come back together and like see how everybody's doing. And like I always tell everybody whenever I see them, I was like, yo, I might not be commenting on everything, but I'm watching and trying to hit the like button and like literally cheering from the background because like, yo, it's always cool to see everybody following their dreams, but also good people succeed. That's always so clutch. So good to hear that, Lynette. Let's go in alphabetical order. Andy Reloads. What's up with you?
Switched it up on us.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, Lynette, that's super sick, mate. I mean, to be making videos for a big publisher like that, that's epic, mate. So massive, well done, and I hope they're paying you well because you deserve it. That's ridiculous. Well done. Yeah, it's really great to be back with you guys. And just touching on what James is saying there, like I feel like we reached that crescendo like with everyone in the community about Hogwarts Legacy, and then it's that inevitable like decline of interest. It's always the way with single player games. Like it always is going to happen until Hogwarts. I'm sure we'll get into this tonight or this morning, wherever you are, but there's always going to be that unless there's a live service kind of model there. But yeah, I mean, just kind of plodding along with the normal full-time job for me, and it's really great to kind of like be back with you guys here and been watching you and liking and doing all the stuff, because for those of you guys who are watching, like creating content is like super hard. Like it takes such a long time. Like it's insane how much it takes. And then some videos do well and you're like, I wasn't expecting that to do well, and other videos that you spend like 50 hours on just plummet, and you're just like, why is this the way? Like this should not be happening. So it's great to kind of like actually chat tonight about all the other games coming up, and obviously Hogwarts Legacy as well. So thanks very much for inviting me. I'm really excited to be here. I'm looking forward to this evening's conversations. So great to see some familiar faces in chat as well. So thanks for stopping by, everybody, as well.
Thanks for that, Andy. Next up we got Benjamin Snow, fellow Hufflepuff.
All right. Yes, this arm. Okay. Yes, and I totally agree, Andy. It's like just until I forget, like so many times you spend like hours and like a week or weeks on the video and it does nothing, and then you spend like an evening to quickly record and fetch some BS editing, and then it does well. I'm like, what? Am I to not care every single time? I don't get it. But it is content creation. It is a full-time job, even though we're doing it part-time. So oftentimes it is a full-time job because it's a lot. It's a lot Yeah.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
yeah, it's fun. It's fun to see you guys here again. It's been like so surreal seeing you all like in IRL, except Andy, of course.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
But yeah, and now I'm well. I forgot about the intro. Yes, I'm Ben Snow, and welcome to.
Ben, this is your brand. You're like, oh yeah, introduce myself.
Yeah, gaming couch. This is where we play different video games.
Yes.
Today we're doing discussions about the future
Yes.
games and etc. Anyways, yeah, it's surreal, really surreal, and I don't really know where things are going from now on. It's kind of because Hogwarts Legacy was mostly the game I was covering all this time and doing some cosplays and stuff, and as now it is, you know, obviously died out a little bit. I'm like figuring things out. What was the future going to be,
Right.
and like, sticking with it. And I am into different games, but mostly
Content.
Right. And I'm learning that like I really like creating like that stuff that that I did before. I like building stuff. So I'm introducing this more and more while I'm also covering Hogwarts Legacy and adding little games. But yeah, it's kind of free flow.
Well, that's good to hear, man. Always. And yeah, it's a weird transition coming from a game you covered for like almost 2 years, some of us, to now finding that next thing. So yeah, totally get it. Next up, we got the man with the legend, Retro.
Retro Recontour, yes indeed. Just a dad who loves games. I'm still just a dad who loves games and the stories they tell. Nothing has changed there. Nothing at all. But no, man, I'm so glad you invited me to be on. I love these types of conversations. I always just come away from them so energized.
Yeah.
Like you guys were talking about, Andy, I don't know if you guys saw the video I did on buying every Harry Potter game.
Everybody go watch that video.
On this
insane video.
Like weeks going around all these places, and I mean the video's doing okay, but it did not do what I expected. And then I made a video on the Lies of P game, which may come up here later, and that video has already got more views. I filmed it in like an hour, just like my stream of consciousness thoughts about the game. Like, you gotta be kidding me, man. Just when you think you have YouTube figured out, it's like, nah, this video is gonna do well, but not this one. Oh man. So yeah, I've been doing content full time. You guys know I made the jump.
That's right.
Right with Hogwarts Legacy, which people, here's my advice. If you guys ever go full time doing this, don't announce it, because it's like as soon as you say that, you get this target on your back. I feel like where people are like, oh, you made it. So now I'm coming for you.
Yeah.
I mean, people jumping in my stream saying, you used to get millions of views. Now you get nothing. And I'm like, wait, did I get millions of views on every video? I don't remember this.
Hateful.
Yeah, really bad stuff. And I'm just like, people think I made the jump because of Hogwarts Legacy, which Hogwarts Legacy put me in the position to make the jump.
Facts.
But like Andy said, I mean, we knew that wasn't going to be something to sustain. It's not like a Minecraft. It's not a Fortnite that's just going to be here forever.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we'll get into all that stuff. But it's going well, man. Like I've been having fun playing a lot of different games, which I know we're going to talk about today.
Yeah.
And it's also funny. I don't know if you guys have found this true as well, but I feel like the more I make videos about games, the less I have time to play the game.
Oh my gosh.
So when James was like, your 3 favorite games of the year, I'm like, have I played 3 games?
I might have played exactly 3. Those are the ones on my list.
Like,
minus demos. Yeah,
I count demos because oh my gosh.
Oh,
okay. All right.
Have not had time. Oh my gosh. That is so true. Especially with like, it's funny, going back to Wizards Unite, a mobile game, another mobile game we'll talk about later on, but Sue, better half of XpectoGO, she reaches like the max level in the game almost a year before I do. And she's like, James, I put in more hours, but I put in more hours doing research, not playing the game and progressing. And it was just so infuriating. She's like, do you cover this game? Why aren't you higher level? And I was just like, Don't talk to
You
me right
fraud.
now. don't
Jay-
don't rub it in. Don't rub it in.
James, we've been graced with the presence of an absolute legend.
Oh
Chandler
my
Wood.
gosh! No
Let's go,
way.
Chandler.
Everybody say hi, Chandler. We all met Chandler, right?
Yeah.
Every one of us got
Oh.
the pleasure of meeting them. Yeah.
Oh,
Absolute
someone
hero.
who's in Florida right now and,
Yeah.
and it's not
I
secret
was-
at all.
I wasn't going to
Nothing
bring it up.
suspicious
Yeah,
at
what's
all.
going
I was
on
gonna
with
bring
that,
it up.
Chandler? What's going on with that, Chandler?
Should I say
Happening?
go check out
away. Check Chandler's Twitter. It's fun. Immediately.
Instagram stories?
I was gonna say,
I'm like
yeah.
the master of dropping hints. Whenever he told, I think it was
Seriously.
you, Ben, when he said,
Hogwarts
"Don't read
Legacy
too much
in the
into it.
chat.
Don't want to get hyped too high." Or
No matter
expectations
what he
too
tweets,
high.
no matter what he tweets, I will interpret it. That's a message for the future. From now, I don't care what he said. What he replied.
Oh my gosh. He said
Everything is a
chatting
conspiracy.
at you live from the lunch break at Universal.
So fun.
Got to get back to rides soon. Yo, you guys have fun. I know you're there with a couple of other fellow Avalanche software peeps and stuff, and I think maybe one content creator, but enjoy. You
Yeah,
guys
he
have
posted a
deserved
picture.
your break and everything and stuff, like for sure. So thanks for popping in to say hi. I really appreciate what you've done with the community, of course. But yeah, so
Do you want to know how much of a streaming noob I was? So
Uh-huh.
we've seen Chandler and Hogwarts Legacy official channel jump into chat then, and then we saw Streamlabs, and I was like, oh, Streamlabs is here.
Oh my gosh!
And then I was
The
like,
one,
no,
the only
no,
Streamlabs.
no. That is a bot.
Are you
Oh my
Wait.
God.
I didn't even know Streamlabs was here. I thought it was StreamYard. Oh my gosh.
You probably have it set up to you where it automatically.
Auto-
It's
Automatically.
yeah, the chat bot's just
Okay.
on. Yeah.
Well,
So
I
I'm glad
didn't-
I'm caught myself before I said hello to the social
Oh my
media
god, that would
manager
have been
at
so
Streamlabs.
great.
So yeah.
Oh my
Amazing.
gosh. Well, now that we got all the embarrassment stuff out the way, let's get into the topics we're going to be covering today or tonight or this morning, wherever you guys are in the world. We're going to be talking about 3 of our favorite games so far that we've been able to play this year in 2023. And then 3 games we're looking forward to that has not come out yet. And then if we have time, maybe looking forward into 2024, hopefully Hogwarts Legacy DLC. But if we have time, but also looking back at, again, Hogwarts Legacy and the life there was. I also need to acknowledge a bunch of gifted Mimbies from Merlin himself, aka Dan Grogu, aka Stargeezer Tim, with the 5 gifted Mimbies, and Elwin, I saw yours. I wanted to take the time to get yours as well. So we get 15 new members of the Patronus Squad. Thank you guys so much. Welcome, Gigi, Ren, Steve, Michael, and Ninja Game Fest. Welcome to the Patronus Squad. You guys have now access to emotes and all that jazz. So thank you guys for the support. All right, let's get to question number 1. And chat, feel free to chime in because I honestly would love to hear you guys' thoughts. And I actually did it in question of the day. So I'm just throwing it out here right now. This is not on the list yet. I just wanted to just surprise these cats and get a quick answer from them, put them on the spot right now.
Okay.
Game of the year right now.
Oh, of course. Of course.
Game of the year. Now I have
We had this question last time, right?
We
You asked
did,
us
we
this.
did. We did. So I have this in the poll right now in chat, and leading right now is Hogwarts Legacy. I think there's a little bias there.
Is that like so far, or are we like predicting a little bit too?
We can predict if you want also,
Okay,
because I got Starfield up there and Marvel Spider-Man 2 up there as well. So
Oh,
yes, you
okay.
can predict. So Hogwarts Legacy killing it with 57% out of 100 votes. Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is at 13%. Starfield is at 19%, and Marvel Spider-Man 2 is at 12%. So let's go in order. Andy, quickly, your game of the year you think is going to win game of the year at Game Awards?
Starfield. I just think, as much as I would like it to be Hogwarts Legacy, yeah, Starfield. I don't know how much you want to give. I'll just say Starfield for now. If you want to go around,
yeah. Okay. No, give a quick brief as to why. Yeah.
I just think that, I absolutely love the Hogwarts Legacy. I think that would be a quick contender. Maybe Diablo, actually. Maybe not. I think Starfield, just because the amount that is going to be in this game, or what they're telling us that we're going to be able to do in this game, which would be completely crazy. And I'm sure we'll go into details about it a bit later.
Yeah.
I just think that a game on that scale demands perhaps a bit more gravitas when it comes to kind of votes rather than a single player game, which you can finish in 50 hours or so.
Yeah, that's a good point. Benjamin, what do you think?
If not Hogwarts Legacy, and I will defend it, but I agree. I think it's going to be Starfield because it's a first game, first standalone, first thing. But it's hard to judge because the game is not out yet.
Right.
Same thing for Marvel Spider-Man. But
yeah,
Marvel Spider-Man and Zelda, those are sequels. I don't know. If I would choose, like, it would be either Hogwarts Legacy or Starfield.
Okay, all right. Let's go with Lynette.
Oh, me. Dang. Okay. I'm gonna say Tears of the Kingdom because that has been I have like a very, very direct connection to Breath of the Wild as like the reason that I got back into gaming. So I have been waiting for Tears of the Kingdom for a very long time. I obviously have played many hours and covered it for IGN, so I'm not even done with the game, and I'm obsessed with it. Yeah. However, I obviously love Hogwarts Legacy. When I watched the Starfield Direct, I don't even like space games. You can ask anyone who like has watched me stream. I hate space as a context. I don't know what it is or why, but that game, what they showed us, I was like, shit. Yeah. This looks like it will be a contender for Game of the Year, like more so than I thought that it would because of, I just figured that it would be up there. But when I saw what they showed us, I got a little nervous for Tears of the Kingdom, but I'm gonna still go Tears of the Kingdom.
All right. Okay. Retro, what do you got?
I'm with Lynette. I think Tears of the Kingdom will just edge out Starfield. And I mean, it's, like you said, it's so hard to. I think it was you, Ben. It's so hard to say until because I mean, the direct, the marketing, they're just killing it with Starfield. I mean, it looks incredible. But I will say, I mean, I was skeptical of Tears of the Kingdom. I thought it looked exactly like Breath of the Wild. Played it and I'm just I'm loving it so much more than I love Breath of the Wild. And a lot of people already thought Breath of the Wild was one of the greatest games ever.
Exactly.
So as long as that like sort of recency bias, which I know, I feel like that always kind of leaks in for people. It's like what came out at the beginning of the year. It's like, oh, that was so far back. But Zelda just, I mean, it has blown me away in so many ways. Like Nintendo just the gameplay, man, like they just understand
on the Switch.
What is fun fun gameplay more than so many people.
That's crazy.
But Starfield absolutely I think is going to be a contender, and maybe one that we probably should mention that a lot of people will be upset if we don't is Final Fantasy, which
that's what I was going to
that's a good point, mate. That's a good point.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Yep.
So I've heard anybody who plays the demo has said it's fantastic, and then I guess it released today, right?
Today's the first. Came out today. Yep.
I haven't played a single Final Fantasy game.
Neither have I, Ben.
No me, mate. No me. No me.
This way. Which way are we? This way.
Andy said he hasn't either.
No, it's one of those things where I think
I played one like 10 plus years ago, enough for me to be like, I don't know what even game this is, but I'm not playing it. But that's not representative of Final Fantasy because I know.
Right.
No,
it's a big game. It's just like
it's seriously one of the things that gets recommended to me all the time. It's like just play one, just play any of them.
I get so intimidated. There's so many. I'm like, which one do I start?
I'm with you, mate.
Yeah.
But they are all different, right? My understanding is like the story is different, like
different.
That's enticing because then I totally understand like people who perhaps look at Assassin's Creed, for example, and be like, bloody hell, it's like 15 years of games there. What am I supposed to know here? So I that's the kind of gap I think when it comes to Final Fantasy. But I only read that the other day there actually that it's like each game's a different story. So
it is.
That's pretty good, like entry wise. That's pretty good.
My gosh, Chandler, if you're still here, Don't work with these 3 people ever again.
Oh, that. Excuse me.
No,
I have
no.
lots of knowledge of other
Oh,
games.
I say that because Chandler literally has a tattoo.
Oh,
Final
that's
Fantasy.
right.
It's one of his favorite games, so that's why I just threw that out there.
Oh no! Oh crumbs!
Yeah.
You guys messed up.
No. I'm joking. Speaking of joking, not a joke. We have a super chat or super Teddy. Let me get Niffles in the chat for all the cats who have emotes. Hey guys, it's good to see you all together. This is from Fetch Quest Gaming with the $10 super Teddies. Thank you so much. And then Elwin, I have never played Final Fantasy, but this new one is great. I'm in it. Ha ha ha. If you know, you know. Okay. Thanks, Elwin, with the super Teddy. Niffles in the chat. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Final Fantasy. It was it's the first game that made me just like ugly cry. Final Fantasy 7. It like each one, I think the backstory is with Square Enix, at least they had tried iterations of gaming and stuff, and like their first successful one, they called it Final Fantasy because this was their final like attempt to make a good game that sells and stuff like that. And obviously right now, years later, it's a success. So it's cool that they've kept the name, even though they're telling different stories with each one while keeping similar Easter eggs throughout the series and stuff. It's definitely intimidating if you haven't played any of them. I can definitely recommend some ones to try out for sure. And it's definitely changed throughout the years based on people's aesthetic, looking for types of gameplay. But Final Fantasy is a like reason why I'm a PlayStation head like right now. Like Final Fantasy has always been one of those things for me. So, yeah, I'm joking about the thing, by the way, Chandler. But yeah, Final Fantasy is up there.
No invites to the DLC for us.
But no, I think I agree with. I think I'm leaning towards Tears of the Kingdom as well for Game of the Year contender, strictly because of the openness. I'm hearing some restrictions possibly with Starfield in regards to flights and everything like that. And kind of like there's going to be split scenes between each of the planets you're going to, and maybe not as many mounts, if any at all. But with Tears of the Kingdom, I'm finding everybody's enjoying just the expanse and the openness to it, and just you can literally do anything just about with this game. And so and I think Retro pointed at the Breath of the Wild, kind of like nothing could beat that game. That's like one of the most epic games ever. And then Tears of the Kingdom, in the conversation of being better, I think is going to sway a lot of people with Game of the Year. But I think Final Fantasy is an underdog just because of the story and everybody's reception right now. So I don't think Spider-Man 2 is going to get up there. I really don't. I think it's going to be popular, but I don't think Spider-Man 2 has.
And I felt like Star Wars may have had a chance early, but it reviewed well, but sounds like there's a lot of negative conversation around the bugs.
PC, particularly with PC. Yeah. And it came out like a week before Tears of the Kingdom. So
it's just a bigger tsunami.
Exactly. Everybody's looking for
at the same time. Well, I that's kind of, I don't know. I don't want to disrupt the flow, but I just wonder because I'm not playing mostly because Carlos is hugging Tears of the Kingdom. He's playing every single day.
I could see it. Yeah.
My OCD is overkilling because what he built is absolute BS. It's like you built a property that works, and how?
That's all that matters.
I don't. But it just also because of that. It looks like such a hustle, and I'm like, I don't want to do that. I want to go to work in the game. So I don't know, but I haven't played it yet, so I can't speak much. But also another thing, 80% of the game, it's like porn sounds. That's how everyone reacts to it and speaks. I'm like, what?
Is this why so many people like it? Is this the same for the rest of the
game? James is like, whoa.
Every friendly thing is going out the window right now.
Did I get into this franchise too late? What's going on here? Is this a regular thing?
Oh my gosh. I haven't even played that many Zelda games, but I had to put it down because I think I'm nearing like the last of the I think I'm nearing the big end, and I'm like, I can't end right now. Like this is my biggest struggle with games. I hate when games end. But there was a moment where I freaking like teared up, and I was like, what is happening in my life right now? Because I hate building, Ben. I hate stuff with construction. I'm bad at physics. Like, I think something's gonna work in my brain, I can visualize it. I'm like, oh, this is gonna work perfectly. And it just like collapses or falls apart. But you know, there's so much to do in the game. Like, I did side adventures. Side quests are an entirely different thing. There's just so many things, and like the characters, they're just so I think it helps that the people that worked on Breath of the Wild, and actually for a long time, the people who have worked on Zelda, like the franchise, have been there for a long time, and to have that sort of consistency, that longevity, and that depth in developing, you're developing in this universe and being able to tap into things, even little minor things that are just kind of nostalgic in a weird way. Like one of the fun Easter egg things that I learned was because I did the cooking video, I cooked a lot of things and had to say. So Link does this thing where he cooks, and every time he'll just whistle like a little tune, like a little bit of a tune of a song. And so it reminds me of like Ocarina of Time, where you just play those first 6 notes, and like it's like little things like that just bring so much joy. So even though there's a lot of chaos, which I also love, I love chaos exploration. It hits all the marks for me. And to build on top of, you know, Breath of the Wild, the reason it was so popular was because of what it offered at the time.
Right.
And even though I do understand sort of in a more critical lens of like, it doesn't do that, but it does everything Breath of the Wild did, but so much better. Like Retro was saying, like just so much better, so much like it's very comfortable. And I think those things put it over for me why Tears of the Kingdom, not just because of Zelda. Like, of course there's a long-standing franchise, but because of the quality of the game itself. It stands on its own.
I mean, I can't wait to play it, honestly. I know it's like, I'm just watching, that's only me judging from the side. But I've been playing Breath of the Wild up until, you know, I was bird into Hogwarts Legacy. So I love that game, and I'm sure I'm going to love this. Yeah.
Awesome. Yo, like, honestly, I'm with you guys. Just on Zelda. Zelda wasn't a thing for me. I'm not going to touch the sound thing. I'm not touching that. But
that's freaking nerd.
Yeah. That's freaking nerds. But no, I grew up playing the Game Boy versions, and then of course into the 64. And I even loved Twilight Princess. I know critically it didn't get the love it did. I enjoyed Twilight Princess and even Wind Waker, which I think was a better game. But once it got to like the Switch and even the Wii stuff and everything, I was just like, I kind of fell off and started doing other things and stuff. So it's kind of cool to get back to it and see the hype for this game like eons later still. So yeah, that's pretty hype. But moving on. So we got our Game of the Year contenders. That probably will change during the next stream once everybody's probably played other games, but we'll see. I asked the panel, and chat again, feel free to join in. There are 3 favorite games of 2023 so far that they have played. Demos do count now, but I only want to hear you describe one of them. You can list 3, but I want to hear you describe one of those games out of the 3 on your list. If you're going to do all 3, make it quick so we can get through everyone, but focus on one just to share your thoughts and why. So let's start with Retro on this one.
So yeah, my 3 would be Zelda, Hogwarts, and Metroid Prime, the remake that came out. So I'll talk about that one a little bit. That is still among my top 5 games ever made. And so I have there's a very I mean, it's not really rare, but it's somewhat rare. The Metroid Prime Trilogy Collector's Edition that had all 3 of them they made for the Wii. I still have that, and I'll never forget playing that game for the first time on GameCube.
Wow.
And I've tried over the years to get it running well on the Dolphin emulator, which is this really awesome GameCube emulator. Because I've always wanted like to see that game in HD. And I'll admit, like, it does show its age a little bit, not in terms of graphics, but like it was designed, it's like first person, but Nintendo wouldn't even call it a first person shooter. They called it a first person adventure because it was more about exploration than the shooting. So it wasn't like our traditional, the way we move in first person games today. You know, the
Yeah.
dual analog setup. You had the L trigger for lock on, but aside from that, they've changed up the controls for this version of the game, and the artists who worked on that game, it's incredible. And like the way that they took, I was a big fan of the 2D Metroids, and they somehow managed to take that into 3D. And I feel like where GameCube wasn't as popular of a console, a lot of people missed it. So this new one is a great opportunity for people to replay it again, which it actually is doing very well in terms of reviews even now. Like it's very high on the Metacritic rating for games of the year. So yeah, those are the three for me, and that's why Metroid Prime's on there for me.
And you've been, like you said, you've been a long time fan, so I forgot you were raving about this when it dropped. I forgot about that.
And it was hard to get, like the actual hard copy of the game. I don't know if Nintendo just didn't anticipate, because it was just a regular version. Like it wasn't some sort of collector's edition or anything. But it was sold out for a while. But I think you can find it pretty easily now.
That's crazy. Wow. That's a good list. I wonder if all of us are going to have Hogwarts Legacy up there. Andy.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's probably going to be my number one. And I think followed then by Jedi Survivor and Zelda for me. I've actually only recently started playing Diablo, and I'm not sure which one to trade out, because I think I'm a big fan of that. But I haven't played it very much, so I don't know yet. But do you know what, right? I don't know if it's the same for any of you guys and girls here, but I feel like I love all of those games, but in some way, every time I play them, I'm like kind of thinking about it in like a making content.
Yeah,
dude.
Yeah.
And like it's super challenging for me then to be like to switch off and kind of play games for fun, which is crazy, because like I speak to some people, some people, it's like, whoa dude, like you're making YouTube videos and like you get to play games and you know get a little bit of side cash or whatever, and it's like, well, not really. Playing games is like the 10% of it, and even then you're kind of like speed running through it, you know. So I do feel, for me, it's something that I need to kind of get better at, right? But I feel like I've enjoyed all three of those games. I haven't made any content for Zelda, but I've kind of paused Zelda for now because I was thinking of it from a content point of view.
Oh my god!
So I think I'm gonna.
I have so many thoughts on this. I don't want to derail us completely, but I'm so with you, Andy.
So I guess sorry, I didn't want to go. Sorry, James, I don't mean to go on.
No. This is therapy right now. Like we're all like feeling that right now.
What all the people watching usually don't see is we usually do this after the live stream for like 3 hours after we're done. But it's okay. We can do it now too, Andy.
So thank you. Thanks everybody for listening. But I think I enjoy all those games, and I think Hogwarts Legacy is for me, it has to be number one because it's the kind of game, and I'm sure you're all in the same boat, many people in the chat as well. That's a game you've kind of wanted for years and years and years, and it finally arrived. And I had this, you know, I absolutely loved making it, but like I made so many videos on it, I kind of ruined it for myself in such a short space of time that I felt like I sped run the game, and I'm only going back to the game now and really enjoying it with no pressure. And I feel like that's what I'm going to have to do with all of these games going forward for me if I kind of want to make YouTube a full-time thing, because it's not for me right now. But because I kind of feel like I'm just rushing them and I'm not enjoying them. Sorry. I don't mean this to be a therapy session or anything like that. But like,
you're good.
Those are my three games because I enjoyed them the most out of all the other games I've played. So I've looked at them like really objectively, like a work point of view, and not through perhaps an enjoyment point of view. So when I'm sitting down, I'm just trying to get this across to everyone listening. Is like when I'm playing these games, you know, you're picking them apart and kind of putting advantages and disadvantages and positives and negatives, but then you're not really kind of sitting down and absorbing it and going, this is a good game. I'm having a good time. I'm sitting in my underpants this afternoon playing this game for 10 hours. I should probably go for a shower, but I'm not gonna. Like, so I haven't really like had that just yet. So, but long story short, Hogwarts, Jedi Survivor, and Zelda for me. I'm keen to hear everybody else's list.
Oh my gosh. I could
Oh
literally
my
talk for hours about what
gosh.
he just
Yo,
diving
it's
into that.
it's
And I should have known, I should have been
gosh.
prepared for that, Andy, because years ago when I was in college, I did an internship with my favorite NFL sports team, the Tennessee Titans.
Whoa.
And I
Wow.
was like, this is, I'm such a huge fan. This is what I want to do. And then when you're in it, I couldn't enjoy it as a fan
Yeah.
anymore. That's
Yeah.
exactly what I couldn't enjoy watching the
tough, man.
games as a fan. And so now I'm in the exact same boat you are. It's like, how do I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to like hone in on that.
Yeah.
Like, do I want to focus maybe just on Nintendo or maybe just on PlayStation? And then the
Sure,
other one
man.
can be
Yeah.
like my just for
Mhm.
fun. I don't even have to think about content.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
Gosh. Oh my gosh. Yeah. This
that-
is why chat and those who are watching Replay Squad, this is why we try to encourage watching content creators and people. There's a lot that goes into that 7 to 10 to that 20-minute video that you don't see, and you just think they're just talking just to get views and stuff like that. There's a lot of research. There's a lot of stuff you put to the side, whether it's taking care of yourself, family, all of that, to focus on making good content and hopefully have success with what you're trying to pursue. So yeah, shout out to all you guys. That hit home. That hit home for sure.
I'm glad it's not just me.
No, not at all. Not at all. But we'll keep going because we need to talk about that.
Maybe we should just start a podcast.
Yes.
We just do this every week.
Yes.
Are you thinking about making another stream of content retro?
Add to the pile.
Stop.
We don't think about it. We just show up and we just go. Zero planning.
It's really funny. Sorry, I'm going to keep going on this just for a second, just because, so I used to, and James might know this. So during Wizards Unite, like because it was also the pandemic, I started streaming a lot on Twitch, and I basically went all in on covering all sorts of games, mostly indie games. So I was at a point where I played, it was only for like a 2-year period, but I played like 100+ games a year.
Yeah.
And it was ridiculous. And because I had this sort of like, it was kind of ingrained in me of like, if I'm going to play a game, I'm going to save it for stream. And I basically burnt myself out that way. Yeah. And so then I had to like reorient. So I just wanted to say, like, recognizing it is the first step, obviously. And so like now
she does have her PhD.
Yeah.
You need to take notes.
I'm not that kind of doctor, but like I have had to make a very like where I consciously make a choice to be like, I'm going to play a game not for stream, and it is like, I do understand like it is challenging, but when I'm doing things off camera, like when you do that, like when you have like a habit of it to just start playing a game like just for yourself, recognizing the joy that comes with it, because I completely understand, like, you don't want to ruin it, especially because like regardless of like full-time or not, like all of us, I think, approach this with a very professional business mindset. And so to kind of, I feel like being able to compartmentalize is really, really challenging, but that's just part of the whole, like, we just keep learning by doing sort of thing of like, we're just going to keep practicing our like mindfulness and presence now, and not thinking like, that forward looking sort of like, how is this content? Because and this is not just like gaming, but like other content creators that you might watch, like people who vlog or do other types of content, like it's similar processing that goes into the whole endeavor. PSA for if you watch content creators, I'll just echo that point that James made. There's a lot.
I mean, it's all like a learning curve. Like, for example, Andy, like releasing this game, I'm a slow gamer in general, and then I was like jumping in like this, and I didn't expect. Like I wasn't ready. I want to say, like I'm.
You mean for Hogwarts?
But then I'm like, there's already tips and tricks, like a million of those, and I'm like, okay. So that was fun, but I totally get, even now, like I do rarely try to save time to play something that's
Yeah.
not for content, not for anything. And even then, I'm playing it and I'm like, ooh, record this clip or this, or take picture of that, or like I'm
Yep.
not thinking about that.
Or you're wasting time and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's exactly what like I want to play, but I'm no, you should be doing this. And like the only time I play now Hogwarts Legacy is mostly when I need to record footage, and I record the footage and I have like an extra 30 minutes to 40 where I'm just staring at an owlery for an hour or just walking around and enjoying the Wizarding World. That's it.
Yeah.
And that's good enough.
Oh my gosh. During our venting session, we got Maximilian celebrating 6 months of Patronus Squad, asking,
Nice.
will we see the 5 of you do pirouettes at the end of the stream?
I vote yes. Are we voting?
I
Vote
think
yes.
I'm going to put a poll up, and if they want to see us do a pirouette at the end of the stream,
I mean, James, you should just tell us. You should just be
I
like,
think
no,
I
you're
can
on this
predict the
stream.
results of that poll.
Try and rotate the camera up, perhaps.
Have a hunch.
If that's happening, I need to put some trousers on.
Yeah, we'll take a break, just like a camera off break for a second.
So-
just
Get
cut your-
prepped.
just cut the
The
camera
pin-
off.
My
The
chat
pins are
lied to
out,
me
yeah.
the other
And
night.
that's every content creator. That's like a theme, by the way, guys. It's like everyone's not wearing pants ever.
Yeah.
I'm wearing shorts, but yeah, it is a thing. It is a thing. Oh my gosh. Let's get to Ben. 3 games. 3 games.
5 games.
Oh.
3 games. I'm sorry. 3 games.
Games.
Five
Yeah,
games.
that's what we're
I
here
don't think
for.
I can have 3. The only one I play, so legitimately of this year, number 1, Hogwarts Legacy. We waited for this forever, and it finally came out, and it's a great game right from the start, and people are still playing it, and still, I think it did a bit better than Jedi, but I might be biased. I am definitely biased. But anyways, number 1. Number 2, I tried a Diablo demo. I didn't get the full game yet, but I loved it. I was like, oh, I haven't played this type of game in so long, so this is great. And number 3, the only thing that I played, it's not for everyone, but it's a game called Bolt Gun. It's called Warhammer 40,000.
Ooh, I heard about this one.
Warhammer. So it's like, Doom, but like the old school Doom where everything's pixelated. So, but they made that today. So it's like a first person shooter. Everything, their guns look like pixelated. Their enemies, with old school graphics, but made today. It's super fun. Yeah. It's stupid fun. That's how it is.
Oh my gosh.
You just don't think there's barely any story. You have fun. That's it. So.
Oh my gosh. That's awesome. I got to check that one out. I heard about it. I think one of the freaking nerds actually got me onto that one. So I got to definitely check that out. Okay. Lynette, 3.
All right. My top game is Tears of the Kingdom. I'm not going to talk about it. I've talked about it enough. Second is Hogwarts Legacy. Hogwarts Legacy, just very briefly, I describe it as my comfort food. Like it's that kind of game. I haven't played it in a while just because, like Andy mentioned, I mean, all of us played Hogwarts Legacy a lot for several hours. And so I just, I did get platinum though. So I got my Gryffindor character to the map chamber, and then I was like, all right, come back when you're ready. And then number 3 on the list is actually a DLC. It's Horizon Forbidden West Burning Shores. And I played Horizon Zero Dawn for like a little bit because I knew that it was highly acclaimed and people loved it. So I got it for PC and I played it, and then for some reason like my Epic launcher just stopped working, and I was like, okay, whatever. But then I knew that Burning Shores was coming out, and Horizon Forbidden West is on PlayStation Plus, which I now have because I have a PlayStation. And so I love subscription services because I like to sample a bunch of games. It's fun to just see different things.
Yeah.
So I basically like blasted through Horizon Forbidden West. Like I played it, I want to say like it was during my second playthrough of Hogwarts Legacy. I was like trying to make the time that the DLC was coming out. So I was playing both and I was so confused because I was trying. Aloy has this like focus thing that she like scans and it's like a different button than Revelio. And so I was just getting so confused trying to figure out what buttons am I supposed to use for which game.
Oh my God.
But yeah, I think in general, like for me, I love playing a lot of different kinds of games, but I am a sucker for open worlds and just getting lost in very, very immersive, beautiful worlds. And I would say like the world of Horizon is definitely one of those types of like
Low
the
key.
colors, the way it looks, like everything about it was gorgeous.
Yeah.
And I also had a lot of fun just destroying things and my
Yeah.
favorite part is that
Yeah.
I'm a hoarder in games, and so they have this thing that like once you reach your max of like a particular type of item, it automatically goes to like your little whatever it's called. It's like a little
Chest. Yeah.
yes, yeah, your little thing. And then I'm just like, oh, I don't have to do inventory management. So if you haven't checked out Horizon, it has like a really good story as well. I would highly recommend if you're also into open worlds and
Yeah.
interesting characters and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's a good call.
I
Gosh,
wish I
that's a
could be
good call.
like you were saying that you like to just sample a lot of games.
I
Whenever
never
I
finish
try,
games.
oh my God, whenever
I'm
I
the
try a
worst at
game,
finishing.
if I like it, I feel like a fraud if I don't finish it. That's why my backlog is just weighing on me. I have so many games that I know, like chat and people in the comments yell at me when I mention I haven't played
Yeah.
certain games.
Yeah.
Red Dead Redemption 2, for example. Like, no, I haven't beaten
Yeah.
it. I know
Yeah.
it's one of the best games ever. So it's just like I've come to the realization, I'm never going to be able to play all the games that I want to play, which is kind of sad. But like
Yeah.
2023
Yeah.
alone is an insane year for games. What
Yes.
we've already had
Yeah.
and what's still getting
What's
ready to
still
come out.
coming. Yeah. It's gosh, yeah, that's why I'm excited to talk about that. I'll quickly do my three. Hogwarts Legacy, Final Fantasy 16, and Jedi Survivor so far. I really haven't played Tears of the Kingdom. I was like, if I start, I'm just going to be obsessed. I was like, no, I'm not doing it. So I haven't played Tears of the Kingdom, and I haven't done Diablo. It is more of my like speed, that type of game. I just haven't like gotten into it, but I want to. But definitely, if you haven't played a demo for Final Fantasy 16, you will be shocked. That's all I'll say. But Hogwarts Legacy has become my I guess my comfort if I want to like make content and stuff now. Like I just go and pick up Hogwarts Legacy and just look at the beauty of it. I'll just hop on a broom and my Thestral and just listen, watch, and literally look at the sunset for like hours. Like it's just become my thing. Take down a couple of like bandit camps or whatever and just chill, man. Like it's been one of those things that Sue and I were like compete over. Are you playing right now? I'm like, I want to. It was like, all right, you can take turns. So we're like, figure it out because it's our escape right now. So yeah, obviously all this stuff we've been waiting for the game like this and stuff and everything. But I don't know. It just feels like going home every time I turn it on and open it. And I went the opposite route with Andy when it came to Hogwarts Legacy. I said, I was like, I'm not going to rush this.
I remember you saying, like, I'm so jealous.
Now I know what to do when the game comes out. They're like, you gotta be.
I said with this one, I was like, I'm probably going to suffer content wise because I'm not going to be able to get stuff out as fast as I want to. But I'm like, it took me almost 3 months to finish the game, and I'm not even mad. Like everybody's like, I'm on my third playthrough and stuff. I was like, bro, I don't care.
That's so good, man. Because like Nika's in chat. She helps me make the content, and WB were kind to provide myself and her to make it because I was like, I'm gonna get about 20 videos out this next week.
You got like crazy views.
I need some help.
Man.
I need some help. Yeah. So I
think
I think I finished the game in like under 48 hours, and absolutely literally sped run
is
the whole game.
ridiculous.
I think I had like Nico. I think we had like 4 or 5 hours sleep because it was just like blitz the game, and then here's the plan for videos this week. And
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I didn't know if people were gonna like them. I didn't know if people were gonna find them helpful. Like I'd never covered like a game from like actual launch because
Getting it
I
like
just
early like that.
True,
I'd never done that, honestly, never. So it's all brand new. So it was like a lot of guesswork, and I just blitzed the game and then just spent loads of time in pretty much Premiere Pro editing, trying to make videos that people would find useful and helpful. So for just like everyone else here, but I mean, like, I'm so envious, of yourself, man, for doing that, because like that's what I'm going to be doing in the next couple months, kind of resetting and going back and enjoying these games how they should be enjoyed, not on like a 48-hour binge with no sleep. Like, oh my God. Like,
you know what it's given me a new perspective on too? And growing up, like reading video game magazines, when they would talk about how they had to review these games within like 2 days. And as a kid, I'm like, stop complaining. You get to you play the game early, get the review done. Yeah. And now it's just like all these reviews, you see it, and it's like that's not even how that game was meant to be played and enjoyed. We've gotten, I know all of us have gotten close with various people at Avalanche, and it's just like they spent years of their life working on this, and then to see people blow through it and
already asking for the DLC weeks later. But it's like,
I know.
Bruh, chill.
I was literally just talking to Jeff about this last night, because I was just like, it must be such a wild experience that not many people have experienced, to have that little burst and then just be like, all right, what's next? And it's like,
but
just enjoy.
But that's how it is. See, what I learned also, well, that's, again, we're venting as content creators.
No, I know.
Yeah, you're good.
But I just learned. I remember when I was watching about iPhone. I want a new iPhone. I had iPhone 7 for like 7 years. And then last year, I wanted to switch an iPhone. And I was watching the entire year, but what's going to be then? What's it going to be about? As soon as it came out, I got it. I don't give a crap about an iPhone. I'm not watching that at all. Goodbye. And then the guy was saying, and the guy, the content creator, he's funny. He's kind of like, he curses on videos and stuff. He's like, he's cool. And so he said, well, like, that's the thing. Once the new thing comes out, we don't give a crap about it. What's the next one? What's the iPhone 15? Once that comes out, that's it to us.
Yeah.
How's the iPhone 16 is gonna look? In the next year. So, that was that moment that I realized, like, okay, I guess that's how it's happening with games too. As soon as they come out, they don't matter.
Yeah, I mean, I think I just want people to have just contentedness with experiencing things and then on to the next thing. And I will also acknowledge it's very hard to do, especially in sort of like the discourses that are like always on to the next thing. But I think
I'm to the back. Like, for example, if I would bring to the favorite game of this year is Elden Ring, because I'm playing it this year.
Oh my God.
Because I was late to play it, and now I'm catching up and I'm loving it.
Yeah. Gosh, man.
Sorry, Lynette.
No, you're good.
No, it's all good.
Yo, no. Spitting facts, like, honestly, just from like a perspective or retrospective of just gaming in general.
A retrospective?
Yeah, you see what I did there?
Trademark that immediately,
Bars.
Trademark.
Bars.
Why my logo is a snowflake?
Yo, how is that not the name of your podcast? Like,
what?
Oh my
there
gosh,
we go.
Oh my, yo,
it's right there.
Yo,
talking about like
every time.
I don't have a podcast yet.
Yo,
do I need to start one?
You have a name.
Well, it's called Retrospective.
Retrospective. There it is, right here.
You can just figure out the details, right?
Like an art list, if you use it, you can select genres, and every time when I'm like editing or writing, I put electronic and retro, and that's the music that's in the background. I think of you.
Yo, what? Before we get into our 5 most 5. 3 most anticipated games.
I was about to
Three,
say.
3. There's 5 of us, and it's throwing me off
Yeah,
with the
yeah,
numbers.
yeah.
I didn't
So
get that
I'll
memo.
start. Quickly, what does everybody edit with?
DaVinci Pro,
Premiere.
DaVinci Resolve.
Okay, Premiere.
I'm DaVinci.
Premiere Pro.
Premiere
Premiere
Pro. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
What about you?
Yeah, I'm Premiere Pro as well. I got the Adobe.
I've used
suite.
a lot of Final Cut as well, but I like
Really?
DaVinci now.
Did now the DaVinci users and vice versa, Premiere users? Have you guys tried the other softwares before?
I used to be on Premiere for a while, and then I switched.
Okay.
I'm a bit of like I love like Adobe products. I'm a bit of a simp for them, I would say. Like I love Photoshop and all that kind of stuff. So it's like
Same.
it's like an
And now
easy.
they're
Yeah, it's all in the cloud, isn't it? So now
Yeah.
they just won't let me go.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I used to teach classes for a library. Like that's what I did for 6-7 years. Is I taught basic video editing, Photoshop, audio editing, all that
Nice.
stuff. So I've tried Premiere, and I'm not a fan. I
Yeah.
feel like that Final Cut and DaVinci are both the way they handle rendering. I like a lot better. My timeline generally, I can play it back a lot faster.
Yeah.
But it's what everybody learns on. I feel like is what they kind of
For sure.
If for some reason DaVinci dies, I easily can switch to Adobe or Final, because I feel like Final Cut and DaVinci are very close to each other.
Yeah.
And then there's Adobe and something else.
I just don't like the subscription model, like Andy was talking about. Like I use Affinity Photo, which is like a one-time purchase. For
Okay.
Photo editing, thumbnails, all that.
I'm still using like my old school email, and so I'm getting like the student discount on my
But hey,
stuff.
with AI, pretty soon
Still
with
works.
AI, we're just gonna be able to.
And else Adobe, like there's After Effects, there's Audition, Bridge, Photoshop, everything else
Illustrator.
But I use it for my job
Design,
also. Like, cause I do well. I'm not going to talk about them because they might not want me associated with Harry Potter. But I do a lot of layouts and templates for athletic departments at universities when they promo or announce recruits and stuff for their programs and stuff. So I take advantage of the Adobe suite because of all the other stuff they have, not just for Premiere.
Do you know, man, like Adobe can be like an absolute Ferrari. Honestly, it can be so terrific and everything comes together and it's just wonderful. And then there's other days where it runs like
everything crashes.
Like in this country, a Ford Fiesta, right? Which is just like, oh my god.
Yes.
Sometimes it's just a day, and I hate it. You know, it's like one thing, my brain is glitching and I can't write something, or I'm recording slower or editing. But when there's also technology in the way, I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Why are you doing this to me? I don't have time for this.
Are you guys all PC or any of you Mac?
Mac.
PC.
Oh, you're on Mac?
I'm Mac. Yeah.
PC.
Wow.
Because I feel like Mac is always kind of lagged behind on streaming, but as far as like the creation, Mac is so good.
I'm leaning towards it, honestly, just for editing, but I'm able to stream better with PC right now. So
I'm streaming from using PC, but actually from a separate device. It's called Atom. But yeah, streaming is PC now, everything. But editing and creation is all Mac. And as soon as I can upgrade it to the M1 chips and all of that,
bruh,
in a heartbeat.
Bruh.
I have a MacBook Air that is actually for like smaller videos. It exports faster than my PC that I built 2 years ago.
How I go around, so like the worst thing that you can do to Mac is fill it up with space, like eat up the space. So what I do, I use SSDs to edit from. It's so much faster than from like its own thing.
Gracious. Wow. We went on a editing type thing, but no, I was interested now. Like, what do you guys use? But staying on schedule, we talked about games we have enjoyed thus far. What about 3 games you guys are looking forward to either covering or even playing in general to enjoy? Let's start with Benjamin and Snow.
Okay, so definitely looking forward to Spider-Man sequel. Oh my god, I'm so excited for it. Starfield, I bought the controller, but
Nice.
yeah, can't wait. And then the future. I don't know. There's I can't even think. Wait, there's still going to be more in next year.
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed Japan. Assassin's Creed Japan.
Okay. Yes. So I'm looking forward to Assassin's Creed, the Blair Witch one. The one
the
that
Hexe one. Yeah.
Oh
okay.
yeah.
that one was like,
So-
I got questions for you, Andy, about Assassin's Creed. By the way,
Dude, I love your questions. Please ask away. Yes.
I have questions because aren't they doing a mobile?
The
Yes,
Japan
they
is.
are.
Yes.
They're doing
Okay.
yeah.
That looks.
I call it out immediately. I never said it, obviously, but I was like, that looks like the mobile game.
That's okay. I started with mobile, just content creator, obviously with Wizards Unite,
Right.
but I've always had a soft spot with just being able to play a game on the go. And just I have my phone on me anyway. And so just that concept alone, I was just like, oh my gosh. But to have it with an Assassin's Creed title, I'm just like, bruh, what?
Pretty crazy.
There has been plenty of mobile Assassin's Creed before. There were like a small there was one in Russia, I believe, a while back, and somewhere else.
Yeah. It's called that was called the Chronicles. Like they did these kind of like stories in India, China, and Russia as well. So I'm happy to give you a little bit more context about kind of like Ubisoft and Assassin's Creed if you want to go on that topic now. Like,
I mean, Ben brought it up because as
maybe
look,
why don't we come back to it?
We'll come back to it. All right. But Ben, did you want to add anything else to your three?
Well, the thing is, this year it's conflicting because
my gosh.
games coming out next year, then this year, I don't know what's going on. But Lord of the Rings games. Like I made a video about it, and I want to be because so I'm looking forward to the Return to Moria, but it looks like a smaller scale game. I hope it's not like Gollum. I wasted $7 on Gollum.
Oh my god!
I was watching some of your stream. I felt so bad for you. You're just like
that game. Oh my god!
Through that.
Me too.
Oh, you got it.
No. Do not put that on me. I did not get this game. Sue got this game for me for Father's Day as a joke to replace stocks and other stuff. I was like, you paid full price for this?
Oh my god.
This was a gag gift.
Wow.
It's still wrapped. I'm taking it to GameStop and I'm getting something else.
Yeah, get that credit.
That is my wife, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my gosh.
Anyway. But I did well. I pre-ordered it. Like at some point I was like, I'm gonna put hope in this, and no, it did not work. I shouldn't have done that. I should have.
Did you ever play the old Lord of the Rings games? You know, with Two Towers.
I love those. And Shadow of Mordor and War, and I was thinking there's gonna be a sequel, but no.
Yeah.
And so, but there's more coming out, and so I'm jumping on that train because I think there's gonna be games coming out near future, bigger scale Lord of the Rings. So I'm waiting for that, but there's nothing really except this Return to Moria. There's gonna be an MMO by Amazon, and there's gonna be something else. Like the guy Embracer, who owns the rights for Lord of the Rings stuff, said they want to turn Lord of the Rings into one of the biggest gaming franchises in the world, which is a very bold statement.
Yeah.
And I wonder how they're going to do that because...
Do you know, I don't know if you played, like, there was a Lord of the Rings online game, like, 10
there
years
is.
ago.
It exists today.
Is it still going now?
Yeah.
Like, I played that back in the day. I remember, like, getting to level 30 and 40, and I love Lord of the Rings. I mean, I traveled to New Zealand. Like, one of the main reasons why I did that when I was like 19 was to go see all the Lord of the Rings stuff. Yeah, love it. It's insane. So I really love that franchise. But like the online game was just like, it could have been so sick. But I kind of wonder. If I'm honest, I would love a Lord of the Rings game, like the recently announced Star Wars Outlaws game. I don't know if you guys know much about that.
Yes.
That's like an open world Star Wars game. You can't customize your character though. But anyway, I don't mean to jump in there, Ben, but
No,
I feel like
you're
Andy
good.
should just go next.
Yeah, Andy. Yeah. 3.
I just love these games you're mentioning. Yeah, I'm all over that. Yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah, you're 3, Andy.
Okay. Thank you. I think for me it has to be Starfield. Like I think that's going to be a ridiculous game. The problem with Bethesda though is like they're pretty notorious for launching their games with like 25,000 bugs in them. So you know, I'm just like I think what they presented so far looks pretty fantastic, and I'm sold in that point. The marketing is doing its job. Like, okay, you've got me. Please just let it run well. Go, Ben, go.
Oh no, sorry. No, just a little disclaimer. If there's anyone who's getting the collector's edition and doesn't like the box, I'll take the box. I don't care.
That box is very cool. Yeah,
the box. Yeah,
I'll never wear that watch.
Chat, hook our boy up. Chat, hook our boy up.
So, second game for me then is Assassin's Creed Mirage. I've like played, just a bit of background for me. I played Assassin's Creed games since the first one came out when I was younger. Like, I'm really into the franchise. I love it. I think they're a banging set of games when they're like done correctly. Like, I'm pretty easy gamer when it comes to Assassin's Creed because a lot of the Assassin's Creed community is quite militant. You have like the old school, like their cigarettes, just like Assassin's Creed's not what it was.
Because I played since the first one, I believe. I think we're like on the same boat.
So you have that side of the community who's just like, oh, back in my day, son, stealth was a thing, Whereas the new games, you're just running around in like an open world RPG format, like smashing things apart, which is totally fine, but that makes a lot of money. But this Assassin's Creed Mirage game is kind of, they state it back to the roots of what Assassin's Creed games were successful for, which is stealth assassination and blending into crowds. The story is also, the game's only supposed to be about like 20-25 hours as well, apparently, allegedly. So it's a short game.
This was supposed to be a DLC, right?
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, spot on. So it's supposed to be a DLC of Assassin's Creed Valhalla, but they were like, well, we've got.
I love Valhalla. I love Valhalla.
Dude, like that. I think that's one. I think that may be Ubisoft's like most successful game to date. It's like sold over like 24 million copies. They made like $1 billion in like
I didn't finish it, but I still love it. It's amazing.
Dude, it's the figures that they've done in that game is outrageous. So the thing is that there was a lot of microtransactions in it and stuff like that, but you can't really blame Ubisoft from a business point of view, even though you don't like it.
To
say, hey, look, they're going to repeat that, but in a different, like Assassin's Creed Japan next year. We'll talk about that later. That sounds a little bit fun, but I mean, I think those kind of games where you just get loads of microtransactions in stores, it's hard for them as a business to like turn that down, especially when you have like so many people buying it. So you may not like it, but hey, like
I like
buying stuff.
I like the items they had in the stores. Honestly, they had some good stuff that were appealing. So I'm not gonna lie, I bought a couple of stuff because I was just like I would love to have it.
Absolutely, I think I'm not the type of person to tell you what to do with your money. If you get some money and you're like, oh, I like that gear set, you spend $5 on it. Yeah, why not? Fine, you crack on. That's fine. A lot of people obviously just don't like that, but like that's crack on, So anyway, sorry, it's Assassin's Creed Mirage. So it's a shorter Assassin's Creed game. It's supposed to fill the gap until a big Assassin's Creed game, which is going to be huge next year. So the reason I mentioned Valhalla being so successful is because Valhalla, imagine Assassin's Creed Valhalla is like a quadruple A game. It's like not triple A, it's quadruple A because they've spent so much money to make that game. Like, and the next big one is Assassin's Creed Japan, and like it's samurai ninjas. I mean, an Assassin's Creed game.
But that's mobile. Is that's the quadruple?
No.
So the mobile game is Assassin's Creed Jade, and that's in China. And that's coming out like towards the end of this year, but they haven't announced the date yet. So they have 3 games coming out this year, weirdly. So they have Assassin's Creed Mirage that's set in Baghdad in the 9th century, and that's going to be on consoles, older generation. It's not a new generation game. It's like an expansion of Valhalla, but it's a new game. You then have Assassin's Creed Jade that takes place in 15th century China, and at the age of when China's making its first empire, like over the Qin dynasty, I think. Anyway, so that's on mobile. And then you also have Assassin's Creed Nexus, which is a virtual reality
VR joint.
specific, VR specific to
Okay.
Meta, and that's telling 3 stories about Ezio Auditore, Cassandra from AC Odyssey, and
It's not that
Connor Kenway from Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
Connor,
and the
yes.
American
So is
Revolution.
Japan next year? Is that
Yeah.
Yes, mate.
2024?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's going to be so after this year's done, like, because Assassin's Creed is such a big business for Ubisoft, like they've realized that that's the only major money that they make out of their games, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So end of next year it's called Assassin's Creed Red at the moment, but it's in Japan, and that's when you can take control of like a samurai in that time period, and you know, pretty much do samurai ninja stuff.
I've been waiting.
I
for
see
them
them
to do that.
just kind of taking themes that are going popular other things, like God of War. When big and they went to Norse mythology. There was Ghost of Tsushima. Now they're going to Japan, and then what's next? They go to what's next?
Exactly.
I love them, but I see the pattern where they're like, oh, that's working. Let's go there.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. I think this is one of those games which, like, a lot of people in the Assassin's Creed community have wanted for a long time, and you can't blame it. But also, it has like a broad,
those are cool themes.
broad interest, isn't it? It's like, I mean, all of us here, like, I know all of you have kind of dabbled with Assassin's Creed or what have you over the years and stuff. But like, if you think about it, like, imagine controlling a ninja in that kind of medieval samurai period, stealthing around on a next generation engine, with all the light ray tracing lighting. I mean, and it will be ridiculous. So I think they'll make a lot of money from that, you know. But sorry, my third and final game will probably be Spider-Man 2. I think.
Oh yeah, yep.
That comes out in what, November?
October. Yeah, in
October.
Yep. So
I
that's
just have to highlight Ren's comment. Said someone give Andy a PhD for Assassin's Creed.
For real.
Oh yeah, I mean,
honestly,
this game is ridiculous. It's crazy. But
I know who to ask anytime I have an Assassin's Creed.
What about Hex?
No, ask away.
What's Hex going to be? The Blair Witch one. What's that going to be about?
So that's Hexe, right? So I'm going to briefly recap it, because then we don't have to come back to Assassin's Creed ever again in this chat. Okay. So after Ubisoft's releasing a thing called AC Infinity. It's like, if you've ever played Call of Duty and you upload the Battle.net browser, or you log into Call of Duty, on the front page you have like Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 2, like Cold War, and you can play each of the different games and just jump into it, or multiplayer, or what have you. So Ubisoft doing the same thing called AC Infinity, and they release one quadruple A game every year, starting with Assassin's Creed Japan. They're also, the year after that, they're releasing Assassin's Creed multiplayer, like an actual multiplayer game everyone can play online and, assassinate each other. I don't know how it's going to work. The year after that, they're releasing what Ben says is Hexe, and that takes place in 16th century Germany with the witch trials. So the persecution of a lot of women in that time period.
See, I like not the but like the witch trial part. Like the theme sounds so appealing to me, but that's okay.
So you had back then, like, the church is really instrumental in Assassin's Creed stories. As being the Templars, the evil, people trying to control the world. So in that time period, you have a lot of like the Vatican, like, trying to close down on or kill a lot of people in witchcraft who believe in witchcraft and stuff like that. So there's a lot of persecution in that time period, and it's rich in history in the Holy Roman Empire in that time period as well. So that's why it'll be an interesting time period to play. And then after that, nothing else is yet being announced, but that's pretty much it. But
crazy.
They're all going in on Assassin's Creed, to be honest.
I love it. I can't wait.
That's gonna be where the sequel of Hogwarts Legacy is gonna take place, in the same area.
When are we gonna get this sequel? Like, when is this happening? Like, I
can show you the script now. I already have the location and where it needs to go, and where it's going to go, and why it's going to be there.
We're talking about Hogwarts now.
Hogwarts. I'm just saying, Hogwarts Legacy. because it's funny because I used Assassin's Creed Syndicate as a template for why I think London is the perfect backdrop for Hogwarts Legacy 2.
Nice.
Because obviously the locations and stuff, but I think story-wise, the Ministry is going to have to play a big role. That's all I'll say. We'll get into it. We'll get into it.
I know, obviously, main character.
Oh my gosh!
Working also on the video, and there's literally London in it.
Yeah, London. I mean, we start in London at the very beginning, but anyway, I won't derail us. Lynette, your 3 upcoming games you're looking forward to playing and checking out. I already know one of them, the big one you want to talk about. Yes.
I will talk about this forever. Baldur's Gate 3. All right, y'all. So, are you familiar with D&D? It's okay if you're not. Do you like turn-based combat? This game is for you. No, I'm like turning into an ad spot.
I know. I was like, wait, did she get a?
I think she wrote it down.
No,
James,
I'm trying
about the sponsored segment.
Were we in an IGN video?
No, I'm trying to get IGN to let me cover Baldur's Gate 3 because I will literally make all of the content about Baldur's Gate 3. I have not played Baldur's Gate 1 or 2, and I actually have not played any Forgotten Realms in D&D. I'm very new to D&D, but I'm obsessed with this game. If anyone has ever played Divinity Original Sin 2, the studio that made that game, which is also turn-based fantasy, you can play with a party of up to 4 people, and you go around the world and you do stuff. It's made by the same people, Larian Studios, and this game is built. So Divinity is great because in that game it has a story and like beats and stuff, but you can actually kill off like main quest givers and like kind of kill off that part of, and so there are consequences to your actions. So it really has a good replayability, especially if you're playing with other people online. There are certain things that like I have messed up my party so many times by like saying the wrong thing or being accidentally aggressive or stealing in front of an NPC, and then it's like combat. Everyone's killing you right now. It's just I like turn-based combat. I know I went off about open worlds and how I love that type of game, but I also like turn-based because I overthink things, and so having sort of like an action economy where you have action points and you're trying to spend it, you're trying to like optimize based on your character build and the build of the party. I love that sort of stuff. Kind of like when you play D&D, you are working together for some sort of end. And Baldur's Gate 3 is set in the Forgotten Realms, and there's this whole like lore that I'm not familiar with, but it's also very fun in the sense of like you're doing the same sorts of things. You're doing turn-based combat, and there's a story. Jason Isaacs is going to be voicing one of the baddie characters. Matt Mercer is voicing Minsk. What else? Oh, something cool about what Larian is doing right now is they actually are doing it's like an online ARG to kind of like in the marketing of the game. It's called Blood in Baldur's Gate, and it's set 15 years before the events of Baldur's Gate 3. And so basically there's a map. It's kind of very Sherlock-esque. It's a murder mystery. And so each day, they're doing this for every day for 3 weeks. We get like some details, and then we get as a community vote for which location do you want to go to next, and there's multiple options, and it's just been really fun for me to geek out about this game. I have early access and I've played it for a bit. There's like really rich origin characters that I'm obsessed with. And I put my own D&D character in this game. Her name is Kin. She's a half-elf druid. She turns into a polar bear, and chaos happens. So I don't know if I explained what the game is about, other than I'm obsessed with it, and I'll probably be covering it. I'm still trying to convince IGN to let me do it. But it's launching August 31st, so it's like the week before Starfield, and if you have early access for Starfield, it's like right up against that launch date. So I definitely know that the priority for IGN is Starfield, which I'm fine with. Like I'll cover like, a space game, but
you've sold me. Like I've never really looked at it, but while you were talking, I was looking at it and listening to it, and I was like, this looks pretty good. You're right, yeah.
Well, let me just yell at you. Go play this game.
It's good. Like I love the passion, but like how I'm sure other people are interested in the chat as well, because like I'm super interested. How with this whole IGN thing, it's super sick that you're now like a content creator for like IGN basically. That's amazing. But like how do you then go to IGN with Baldur's Gate and be like, yo, I've got this game. I want to make this video and you're gonna pay me. How does that how does that like work? Like
Well, yeah. First of all, I don't say it like that.
Then you need to. You need to.
Yeah. No. The people at IGN are really great. Like I think that because everyone basically has the same sort of attitude towards games. And I know we were talking about sort of like just being content with games and moving on to the next thing. And this is what they do professionally. So they just kind of like they understand the gaming industry and how things work, right? And what it's like to cover games. So they are a bunch of people who play a lot of games and geek out about it. So it's always like kind of an open sort of dialogue of like, what are you interested in? If it's like something that is big enough to cover, then yeah, guaranteed like you'll get some coverage. But it's kind of like this. I mean, it's a pretty friendly like openness of like what are some things that are interesting down the line. And that's why I'm saying like I put it out there a couple times. I'm gonna try one more time and then I'll stop. But because I'm gonna be covering that game as well, and I think that it's so going back to our previous conversation, it's going to be one of those things where I have to like keep in mind of like I'm playing this game for fun, and I just happen to be streaming it, or if I'm playing with some of my friends, like sometimes it'll be online, sometimes it won't be online. So I played Divinity with my old D&D group, and we started doing live streams of our playthrough. And after a while, I was kind of like, I would rather just like play this on our own, like without other people watching us, you know? So we'll see how that turns out. But that is my top most anticipated game of 2023.
Nice. And you have two others?
Yeah, so I mean, I put Starfield on the list. I won't talk about it because like obviously I'm going to play it. I actually have a lot on the list of games, but I'm
already know.
I will say I will shout out one indie game that was featured actually in Day of the Devs, which happened right after Summer Game Fest. And some people saw me play it on Monday because it's actually Steam Next Fest right now, and there's a lot of demos that are available for you to play, and this one is one of them. It's called Viewfinder, and it is a puzzle game. This is also kind of one of my favorite niche genres. It's like a puzzle game that has a lot of environmental storytelling. There are some like little audio logs at each point, and you're kind of like seeing the journey of some people that you'll never meet. It's kind of like one of those types of narratives where you're just seeing the story of something that happened before you even got there. So it is you have a Polaroid camera and Polaroids that you discover in this like world, and you have the ability, you have some power where you place a Polaroid like in front of where you are, and when you place it, it becomes like a portal to the past, basically. So you can just seamlessly walk through to that side, and sometimes there will be another Polaroid or something else, and it's one of those that will probably melt your brain at some point. Yeah. So if you like things like Portal or I'm trying to think of like or other types of puzzle games that kind of mess with like time, space, reality, like I really enjoyed playing the demo. And if you want to check it out yourself, you can check out the demo. Steam Next Fest. There's a demo on Steam, but there's also a demo on PS5 if you have a PS5 and want to see what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice, mate. Nice.
Awesome. Yo, Lynette bringing all the hype with Baldur's Gate and the indie games. Yeah, that goes again. It goes back to like her covering like getting into that on Twitch like years ago during the pandemic and stuff. So it's cool to still see that like going and stuff, because she put me onto a couple of games I didn't even know about. So I was like, I was like, let me just see what Lynette's talking about. She usually has some sense on stuff sometimes. So
Sometimes, yes.
Oh man.
And sometimes I'm just like, yeah.
She also plays D&D with us over at Friggin' Nerds
Oh my
during the
gosh.
thing. So I saw in the chat they would love to see a
Yes.
D&D campaign with all 5 of us playing D&D,
Oh.
role playing, not the game, but the actual like D&D. But we got to talk to them about that. We're not going to do that. Retro, 3 games.
Oh my gosh. I've
3
just been
games.
listening to all these. Okay. So Spider-Man 2 for sure is
Uh-huh.
in there. And I'm going to say Starfield, even though I would probably have to upgrade my PC to be able to play it. I don't have an Xbox.
Seriously.
Yeah.
And then the third one is a game I just tried out recently, a demo. It's called Lies of P, which if you were a fan of Bloodborne, I mean, a lot of times people say Souls-like, you kind of roll your eyes, but I mean, this one, it is, it was so smart of them to release a demo because it really showcases how good the combat is and how good it feels in this game. And the way I describe it is it's basically if you took like Bloodborne, BioShock, and then the story of Pinocchio. So kind of, it's like Pinocchio, what? So it's a retelling of Pinocchio. And you wake up, you're this puppet. They just call him P in the game. And all they say to you at the beginning is like, we need your help. And so you're looking for Geppetto. He's been captured. And so the gameplay in it, it feels very Bloodborne-esque. And at first I thought, okay, this is just way too similar to Bloodborne.
Yeah.
Which is fine. You know, I'll play it, but I'm like, I don't know if there's enough to differentiate. But then the more I played it, even in the demo, which is about, I mean, I spent about 5 hours on it. If you just blaze through everything and you don't die, which I think a lot of people will probably die. It's about like a little over 2 hours of just straight content.
Yeah.
But you can spend, 4 or 5 hours seeing and doing everything. And the more I played, it's just like you kept finding out these little differences in the combat. And one area that I think could actually be more approachable to a mass audience than something like Bloodborne is the story. I mean, like just the fact that they're going with something like Pinocchio. Bloodborne's story is very convoluted.
Which is a pretty messed up story.
Yeah. So you the mechanic that's super interesting is, and I don't know how it's going to play out yet, but there's like a lying mechanic to where it happens twice in the demo to where you have a choice you have to make, and you can tell the truth or you can tell a lie. And they're kind of billing this up as that, are you a puppet or are you human? And I'm fascinated by how it's going to play out, because the way the demo plays out, it's like the people that you're sort of working with, they're encouraging you to lie. And so I'm like, okay, wait, am I a puppet if I just go with exactly what they're saying and lie about it? But then you come to this other situation where it's just like a very, very tough situation. And if you tell the truth, it almost feels like you're a terrible person. If you tell the truth, it's almost better to lie to this person. But it's like, if I tell the truth, is that showing me heartless? And so I'm just this puppet. So I can't wait to see what happens at the end of the game, like based on these choices, because it seems like they're kind of playing that up, in that it is going to have some sort of story impact for the end. So it's taken all the combat, all the action that you know about Bloodborne and the Souls games, and then bringing a story that a lot of people are familiar with. And it was not on my radar at all. I mean, I got back from vacation and was looking at a lot of the Summer Game Fest announcements. And that's one that I saw. People were like, this is a great demo.
Yeah.
Like, sure, I'll try it. And then I ended up playing it over 2 nights. I thought I would just hop in for an hour and then be done. But it's really good. If you like, if you're a Bloodborne fan at all, definitely put it on your radar.
That's
cool.
Awesome. I put the link to your video in the chat.
Oh,
for those of you
appreciate
guys
it.
interested. Yeah. I watched it because it was on my radar. It was one of the games that stood out outside of like the obvious ones, announcements and stuff. Game Fest was pretty good. It's one of their best ones to date, in my opinion. But yeah, that was one of those games that stood out. I was just like, yo, the concept seems amazing. So yeah, definitely on my radar because of that. But I know quickly for mines, I want to say Starfield for sure. Spider-Man 2, and of course Assassin's Creed. I'm like Andy. I just don't make content for it, but Sue actually Assassin's Creed is like Assassin's Creed 2 particularly is Sue's favorite game of all time. Like we played it when we first got married, and like she loves Assassin's Creed 2. That and Skyrim are 2 favorite games of like all time, outside of like the OG stuff from like Nintendo and everything. So when I told her that I showed her the trailer, and she was like, oh my gosh, I think it was during the Wizarding Wednesday, and she was like, oh my gosh, like she didn't say a word, it's just her face was just lighting up. So definitely going to be playing that throughout the house. So those are my 3. Honorable mention, I will say, is coming out next week. Magic Awakened, another Harry Potter game, but mobile and on PC. What were you saying, Ben?
Oh no, I'm just. Oh yeah, that's right.
yeah, that's coming out next week. I have some news that I can't share yet, but I'm looking forward to that as well when it comes to that game. So we're going to be covering that.
Do you have early access, sir?
No, it's soft launches. No, soft launch is out. Like people can play it right now in certain areas and stuff, but not some other stuff that's happening behind the scenes. But,
nice.
It's if you're like looking to play another Harry Potter game and you kind of like want to switch it up on the go, it is a card game type, but it's not just a card game, and there's a lot to it. The story's pretty good. It's been out obviously since 2020 in the Eastern market and stuff, but it's been making its way over here slowly but surely over the past almost 3 years now through betas and now with the soft launch at the beginning of the year. But definitely check it out. We broke it down like yesterday during our Wizarding Wednesday and stuff, but it's a game I've been waiting for years, just to be able to play a Harry Potter IP with others. So we could like honestly come together again and play with each other and like do duels and go into Forbidden Forest and go to class and stuff like that. And I think it would be a lot of fun just playing with the community overall. So as a mobile game, some people aren't like microtransactions, whatever. It is free to play, but it's pretty good, and they do a good job of making sure you can progress in the game without having to pay anything. So
is it a bit like I don't know if any of you guys played it, Hearthstone? Anyone heard?
Yes, it is like Hearthstone. Yeah.
Is it like so? If we were dueling, right, you have a deck of cards and then you get sorted, or do you choose your kind of set of cards that you would want in the deck?
No, deck builder for sure. So you're not just given one. You earn cards throughout. You get currency that you can go and get more cards, and obviously you can use real life currency as well. But it's cool how they integrate it. I was talking about it yesterday. So, for example, you can take classes with your friends. So all of us can take Mogul Studies together, for example, or Charms class, for example.
I see.
Or even do Quidditch and everything. But they integrate the card aspect of the game throughout the stuff. So when you first take Charms class, if I remember correctly, Professor Flitwick harkens back to when Harry, Hermione, and of course Ron were in the girls' bathroom. The troll came and they used the obviously Wingardium Leviosa spell and dropped the club. Well, that's how you learn Wingardium Leviosa in the game, using the card spell, and they show you how to use it and stuff. So they do a great job of integrating the OG stories with the current story that you're trying to tell and stuff and everything. So definitely check it out.
It's so beautiful.
Oh yeah, and the artwork
is
just amazing. The artwork is amazing. It's sick.
Yeah. You're right, James, because like I remember seeing it a while back when it was released in Asia, and it was like, I don't know, it looks cool, but I'm not sure. But when I saw your gameplay, I was like, yo, this is engaging. This is
addicting.
Great.
It's addicting.
This is like this is up my alley, and I think that's I'm gonna be covering a little bit on the channel. Because like it's a lot of people would enjoy this game, but they just also skeptical about it because it's a mobile game. And there's that part where it's like, but it's actually great.
And I know James was talking about this too. The marketing has been sort of because it was developed in another country. And then they also have like WB over here is starting to promote it more now. They have like two websites. And both are official websites. So,
our mods put the links in the description right now for both websites. They have an English one and then they have a global one. The global one is where you can register for PC if you want to play on PC, but it is for mobile.
I did a poll on my channel and had, I don't know, almost 8,000 votes, and 75% of people hadn't even
about
heard
it.
of the game,
Didn't know about
which
it.
Same
is
Yep.
kind of crazy considering
Just
what we
not
cover.
interested.
Yeah.
No, it's not even not interested. They just didn't know.
Didn't know.
Yeah.
They just
Yeah.
didn't know.
One
Like,
person thought it was the Quidditch game, and I was like,
Yep.
no, it's like there's two
two
Yeah,
different ones. I
Yeah.
honestly thought, because Lynette, wasn't it like announced like before? Well, during around the time of Wizards Unite, I honestly
Yeah, no,
thought
I was.
I honestly
Yeah, it's
thought
been a
Magic
while.
Awakened was Hogwarts Legacy.
Yeah, that what I
Yeah.
remember. I heard about it around time. I was like, oh wait, is this the new RPG game?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
remember confusing that. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's been talked about
Mika
and
in
developed
chat,
for
never
a
heard of
minute.
this game before. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Well,
it's like it's been kind of a interesting marketing. I don't know if they were just wanting to wait till it was out
Well-
everywhere to really
honestly,
Go
these type
crazy.
of games aren't popular here. Those type
that
of
is true.
games,
They're way more
the
popular in Japan.
Yep. And so it made sense when I looked at it. I was like, why are they only releasing over there? That makes no sense. Harry Potter is loved everywhere.
And
But-
the UK, hey,
Yeah,
they didn't get it either.
But
Yeah.
the roots of the game in regards to deck building and card playing and stuff is not really a big thing over here. And they have mass tournaments, like you said, Andy, Hearthstone and League of Legends and type stuff like that. Like, it's a big deal over there. So I was like, now thinking about it, I was like, it makes sense. So yeah, check it out. It's a multiplayer Harry Potter game, and that's all you need to know. It's very user
free to play.
friendly,
Comes
and
on
it's
next
free to
week.
play.
Yeah.
Yep.
Might as well try it.
You don't need a console. Everybody has a phone.
Well, you'll see it one way
Try
or
it.
another because we're going to be playing it.
Yeah. Definitely going to try to get all these cats to at least play Quidditch with them, or at least take one
Like
of
the
classes.
Forbidden Forest runs. I know
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
a thing too.
That's- That's a good show, actually. Dennis in the chat says, why can't us five play Quidditch when Quidditch Champions comes out? Which I'm very keen.
Sure.
Oh,
Sure.
yeah.
Some of us
No.
can't
Oh,
say
what?
too much about it, but yeah.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah, you got him.
And we're back to this, are we, James? Right, tell us about the game, sir.
No,
Just
it's
nod.
no. I just know there's been like NDAs being pushed out, so I
Yeah,
don't
sure,
want to like, and with the test runs and everything, some people can talk about it, can't like, but obviously, like, everybody wants this game. Unbroken Studios is developing it. It looks fun. I don't know if I feel about the character creation and stuff. I don't know if it's going to be a free-to-play game with microtransactions or a game you have to pay. I don't know, but it's Quidditch, and from what I've seen, it looks like the OG Quidditch game, and that's all I need. So I'm definitely
We need
playing this
gameplay.
game.
We need gameplay trailer review.
Yeah. Yes.
ASAP.
Yes.
ASAP.
ASAP. So I thought it was coming out this year. I think it's
I
coming out.
thought it was
next year.
coming out during the Summer Game Fest. Come on.
Yeah, I think it's coming out next year. So
I think it
Okay.
depends on the feedback they got from the play tests because they did
True.
3 of them. I mean, that's
Has it
public.
been 3?
They've announced each time they've done
Yeah.
one. So I think it depends on the feedback they've gotten from that. I could see them releasing it as like a
Holiday.
public beta, like saying it's open to everybody now, but it's still in beta.
yeah,
You guys think it's going to be free to play? I'm still leaning towards like a free to play.
I think it's going to be free to
I
play.
think it's going to be
Yeah.
free to
Definitely.
Yeah.
So.
Just the way it is. Like, I think it's going to be set up like all those games, like first-person shooters type ones and everything. And
Yep.
I can see it being a cross-platform type game too. To be honest, just the way it
Yeah.
looks is set up. So
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they haven't even confirmed which consoles
Nope.
or anything yet.
Has
No.
anyone here seen any gameplay so far?
There was a leak.
There was a
Really?
leak. I was about
That
to
is
say,
true.
that is true.
you can search for the leak.
Yeah.
You won't find it here, but
Yeah.
you can Google.
Yeah, and with the whole okay.
It was the first day. I remember. I think it was the first day when I think
Dude was just straight up streaming it.
Straight up
I
streaming
mean,
he knew exactly what he was doing. He was like, with just straight face, he knew exactly what he was doing. He's a psychopath.
It's crazy. Like, bruh, but the thing is,
Wait, who was this? Who was this?
I don't know. Some guy on
There
Twitch.
was a streamer. You could Google it and find like Quidditch
Yeah.
Champions leak.
He's
Yeah.
talking about
So this man has chosen death.
He chose poorly.
He
Indeed.
chose poorly. Yes. Oh my gosh.
We should be
man.
honoring him in the community. What a legend. He's fallen on his
Oh my
sword, on
God.
his
Just so we
wand.
can get a good
for
look at
us.
the game.
Yeah,
No, but
I think I've seen that gameplay actually. I've seen some gameplay, and I think it'll come out next year. to be
Yeah,
honest with you.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I think
I
it's
agree.
got some stuff to do. To be honest, I think like I want it to be good because I love Quidditch World Cup. I think it's
Cup,
absolute
yep.
banger of
oh
a
my
game.
god.
Still,
Great game.
still.
So, but I'm just interested to see how the actual. I mean, Quidditch isn't like a very kind of logical game, technically. I suppose.
I mean, Harry
so-
Potter is not really logical either.
No, it's a good point. Yeah, but I mean, like, how do you balance the kind of the release of the snitching game to
Right.
kind of
Yeah.
like what's the probability algorithm on that? Like, does it just rock up at like 20 seconds into the game? If you're doing a ranked match with your friends, is it just
Yeah.
like, oh, I guess we lost that one, guys? Like, how does that work? Like,
You're doing all the work underneath.
Yeah,
and just,
yeah.
You get this stitch and just like 100 points.
Yep.
literally game over. So I'm
Yeah.
interested to see how that works. Like, what mechanic they're planning on putting in the game.
Yeah.
Right.
But for it to be fun. Otherwise, you can be in love with the Harry Potter franchise as we all are, but at the end of
Yeah.
the day, if the game isn't as much as it's like awesome flying around, I can jump into Hogwarts Legacy and fly around on my broom.
Facts.
Like I
Facts.
can. But I
Facts.
want to play Quidditch. I want to play Quidditch, right? But equally, I'm not going to play a Quidditch game if I'm just getting absolutely nuked.
Yep.
Every like 10, 20 seconds by some guy who's sunk 80 hours into being Seeker, in the first like 4 days. It's unlocked
Yep.
the whole battle pass, and it's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
no chance. Like if I'm still
Yeah.
running around in my Comet 260 or whatever, and he's got a fireball, like how's that gonna work? Like
I totally, yeah, that makes sense. Because, like,
what's that?
Quidditch sounds fun on the single player because I've tried to play. I play literally Quidditch World Cup before just to be kind of remind myself what's gonna
Yeah.
how it was before, and but how it's gonna be in a multiplayer setting is a different thing.
Yeah.
It-
Yeah.
I would say I've been really surprised. I think most of you have made videos. I don't know if you made it, Andy. You made a couple on Quidditch Champions too, but I'm surprised at seeing the comments from people who are like still mad that it's not in Hogwarts Legacy.
Yeah, sure.
I get so many comments of people
Yeah.
who feel like they feel like what a ripoff. They ripped it out of Hogwarts Legacy to put it into this.
No.
I've actually been surprised to see so many people that keep saying that.
I think gamers just want everything, don't they? Like, come
Yeah.
on, and
Yeah.
the internet's a great way to be like, I'm outraged. This is
Yeah.
this is the worst, and then
Yeah.
continue on with their day. When it's like, most people don't care. Like,
No.
I would have loved
No.
Quidditch in Hogwarts Legacy, but the majority of people,
Don't say anything because
No.
they don't care, right? Like that's
Yeah.
the thing.
yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
it's a
Like the
good game.
choice between it being in Legacy or as a standalone game. I mean, give me the
Yeah.
standalone. game.
Standalone.
To me,
Yeah.
that I feels better.
Facts.
But I
Facts.
think now, because of their choice to go with a Quidditch World Cup game, whatever like sequel we get after this in Hogwarts Legacy, I think we can rule out that Quidditch will not be
Mm.
included. Even though I
Mm.
believe they
You
discussed
think so?
like, do you?
I don't
wait,
know. I don't know. No. I don't know anything.
Are we
I
going to
don't
go
know.
down this path again?
No.
We
Wait,
have
so
to
you're
use
saying-
card or-
Yeah, rehash
You're-
it.
You're saying we can rule out that it definitely won't be in, or the opposite?
So
What do you
saying
mean?
that there is
No.
a
They're just going to
Wait, what are you saying? I'm
cannibalize the
confused.
business, in my opinion. Imagine,
Right.
just for
That's
hypothesize
what I
this,
think,
right?
yeah.
Imagine that the Hogwarts Legacy development team, with the awesome physics of the broom flight in the game,
Yeah.
managed to make a superior Quidditch game to the other
Yeah.
game that they
Very good
released and want
point.
people to like buy into. Like,
Yeah.
it's just not gonna. It's not gonna. Okay, so the one thing that Champions has, it's like multiplayer, but maybe some people are like, I don't care. I don't want to get steamrolled by some 14-year-old guy who's like level 150. Like, so
Facts.
I'm
I
just
mean,
gonna
that's
jump on
me.
Hogwarts Legacy. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense, like business-wise, unless they make a Hogwarts Legacy 2, and then it's like they release Quidditch in that game like 3-4 years from now when nobody's playing Champions, or
Mm.
like that's
It's a good
Yeah.
point. And if you think of it, for example, well, I think if they are going to do that, then Quidditch will be developed by like a dedicated team.
Yeah.
And even in this Hogwarts, the current one, I feel like there is partially that where the haunted Hogsmeade shop quest feels like was like done by a different team or isolated team. Just it's a separate
so different from the
Yeah.
rest of the
The
game.
visuals of the
Yeah.
spells are different
Yeah.
than the rest of the game.
It
Yeah.
is
And
very different.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah. I thought you were saying, Andy, it would be in the game in the sequel. That's what I thought you were saying.
Yeah.
Because that's why I was like, wait, really?
I
What,
heard the
like-
double
what, like
negative.
me?
I was like, wait.
Well, like actually in the game, just waltzing around the castle, like
Yeah.
Andy Reload.
Quidditch.
Oh no.
Oh, right. I was
No,
like,
no,
what?
Quidditch.
I would
Quidditch,
love that
Quidditch.
dude, but I don't think so. How did Andy
Yeah.
Reload find his
That's
broom?
funny.
Like,
Yeah.
Quidditch.
no, I
I see what Andy's saying now. Like that,
Yeah.
you're saying that there's no way they would make a DLC for it. Maybe if it comes out way later, they might
After.
put it in a sequel.
Yeah.
because they want to. If you want to, like, if Warner Brothers are thinking business wise, like, hey, if you want to play Quidditch, you're gonna have to play this game we just made.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
that's your only
Yeah.
choice. Because
Yeah.
then if they then made it in Hogwarts Legacy, which arguably would have like we
Would
discussed
look
better
better.
physics and flight, and look
Yeah.
more realistic,
Yeah.
people are going to be like, then I've got two options here. Do I play online
Right.
with my friends in Quidditch in a cartoon kind of game, World Cup
Yeah.
esque art style, or do I just play offline after a day at work, come in, play some Quidditch in a realistic Harry Potter simulator kind of game?
Yeah.
Like,
I
it
can
just doesn't
control
make
the
sense. I think-
difficulty. Yep.
Yeah, and they're not making. They wouldn't make any money apart from just the DLC sales, whereas
Yeah.
they can make a lot of money through microtransactions by selling Chudley Cannon's like Quidditch robes and Bulgaria's Quidditch robes and Ireland's
Yeah.
World Cup winning robes, like
Yeah.
like all that kind of stuff. So like,
Yeah.
I mean, imagine honestly if you had some great art style of like famous Quidditch teams that have won the World Cup or
Yeah.
and their robes, you're going to be like,
yeah. Yeah.
$5 is looking pretty good right now. And that's what they want. Like, I don't blame them for it, but like,
That's true. That's true.
you can't get that in Hogwarts Legacy.
And
That's the
narratively,
theory.
according to Roger, he said, "Yeah, we're not gonna get Quidditch unless we boot Professor Black out as headmaster." Which is, I was like, yeah, narratively, they have an out now that you
sure.
don't need.
my
You
gosh.
can't have Quidditch just because of Professor Black and stuff. So,
But then narratively, they dropped so many. I don't know. Maybe it's not hints for Quidditch, but there were so many things in Hogwarts Legacy where it's like, you don't have Quidditch in here.
yeah,
That's
especially
Professor
around
Black.
the Quidditch pitch.
I would-
talking to
yeah.
the NPCs over there. Yep.
No, but
would love
it
to be
almost
wrong.
like hinted that like there can be a possibility where he's like changes his mind. They like
Right.
people
Yeah.
convince him finally, like, well, what if we just practice and we do a little, I don't know, and
Yeah.
it makes it telegraphs something about that.
Yeah.
So DLC in total, James, what can you tell us, my friend?
No.
Oh, we're interviewing you now.
I was just about to transition to Hogwarts Legacy. No. I
What's
don't
going
know
on with this
anything.
expansion, bro? What can
No, I don't know anything.
Okay.
Every now and then we'll get some devs pop in our chat on Wednesdays, but outside of that, they're working hard on the Switch. I've heard good things, just based off of just popping in and they're like, hey, what you doing? Like, how's things going with the Switch? And they're like, yo, it's going well. A couple of surprises how well it is going with the development for the Switch coming out in November. But outside of that, that's all I know. So
Sounded like a well-rehearsed statement, Andy. What do you
Yep.
think?
Yeah, I
Definitely.
can see his PR agent just handing him a note on the edge of his screen.
Beeping
I
you
was
in
like,
your ear.
on the other side of
Okay.
other side,
Like,
you just have a gun right here pointing at me.
Shut up.
But yo, speaking of Hogwarts Legacy, the game that brought us all together, and a game we as Harry Potter fans first have been looking forward to. I want to just hear your thoughts on the game, and we kind of touched on it a little bit, but where you were at when you first played it and thoughts on the game to now. Did it kind of like meet your expectations, exceed? Did it like fall a little bit? And I'm going to give you guys timers. So we're going to do like 3 minutes each, just kind of a little thing. No, I'll do 2 minutes because then that's like 10 minutes for that. Okay, we'll do 2 minutes. So let's start with.
We're gonna go over too.
Yeah, we are. We are. Yo, you know what I'm saying? Think of say 2 minutes, but you already know it's gonna go over.
Right.
Yeah.
The classic. You tell the family we're leaving at 9 when you want to leave at 9:30. That's how you gotta do it.
Spoken like a true dad. Yes, let's go. Let's go with Lynette. Let's start with Lynette.
Hogwarts Legacy, I would say, definitely met my expectations. I think that overall, not that I was surprised that I enjoyed it so much. I knew I was going to love it, but I was surprised at how easy it was for me to go through and do everything 100%. Remember, I'm a person that's like, I don't finish games, and then do multiple playthroughs of it and still have the time of my life doing it. So I definitely think that those aspects. So I think in previous streams, we all did our like critiques of the game, like things that didn't really meet that or not even meet expectations, but the sort of the ideation of like what could have been if you did more with this, that, or whatever. I think I'm kind of like off of that critique sort of brain right now. I don't know if part of it is because I'm like playing other games now and I'm just like, oh yeah, it wasn't that bad. Like it was fine. It's a great game. I definitely is one that I would recommend to other people. I think it definitely captures the magic, and it set out to do that, and I think it did just that.
Well said.
Am I good?
Well said.
Yeah.
Great
See,
job.
that was good.
We're
We're like being to the point.
Yo, pin that Hogwarts Legacy. Put that on your socials right there.
Oh man. Usually I ramble. I think okay. Next person.
Yeah, that was faster than I thought. Let's do Andy. Hogwarts Legacy.
I think the game is sick. And it's pretty much like what I wanted, to be honest with you. But then also, I was immensely disappointed that I'd finished it, and I kind of wanted more as well. And I remember speaking to a few developers who I won't name in person when they kindly invited me down to Warner Brothers Studios. And I asked them pretty much straight up, hey, when's this second game coming? Because like I haven't even played the first, but I want to know when the second one's coming. And they said, well, we've got a story for it, and we see this first game like Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, which is the first game that was critically acclaimed.
Yeah.
This person then said to me, they were like, Andy, imagine that game. That's Hogwarts Legacy. That's Jedi Fallen Order. Well, the second game is going to be like Jedi Survivor, where we improve everything.
Gracious.
And we add a lot more stuff that we didn't include in this first game. So he said to me, to words to the effect of, I'm more pumped about the second game than I am about the first one. And I was like, cheers to that, mate. Thanks very much. So, I'm
that one.
Yeah,
that one's more important.
Exactly.
Wow.
But the thing is, they were like, they didn't know how well it was going to perform at that time. And I'm in short, just to wrap up really quickly, I'm glad it was such a good game because it means that they earn serious bank, and now they can make another one. And I really hope that they have some sort of co-op feature or live service in some way to keep content coming out.
Facts. Well said.
Serious bank.
Man, over $1 billion.
Serious bank, man.
Over $1 billion.
We haven't heard. That was a while ago.
I'm about to say that was like back in early April. I want to say when they announced that. When they got billion or May?
Fantastic Beasts.
No, they said it during the PS4 Xbox One launch.
It was
it was in May when they crossed $1 billion.
It was like right before, I think.
Yep. Because they had an investors meeting. I forgot about.
So we haven't gotten any numbers since the launch of PS4 and Xbox.
Do you know what's great about that it's done so well as well is because the developers get a bonus
every time. Right? Yep, they exceed the expectation.
If people in the chat, if you didn't know that, if a game meets its target or makes the amount of money that it's cost to make back, and then if it then does that again, they usually get around about 12%. But then if it does it again, they then get that doubled again.
Oh.
And that 12%, that developer cost, it means that that's averaged over the salary of how long that developer's worked on the project. So if they've worked on the project for like 5 years and their salary is like 100 grand per year, then they'll get like 12% of the whole salary that they've earned, right? So like 12% of like half a mil essentially, if it does that well. So like it's that's only it varies on studio to studio, but I've spoken to developers who've then gone out and bought like cars and houses and stuff, like because the game's been done so well.
I was
like,
about to say,
most recently Assassin's Creed Valhalla, like people are like, I'm going to buy a whole car because it's then gone and done so well. So that's really great, because that means that the developers are like getting bonuses and rewarded from the studios for what they've made for those years in like solitary confinement, essentially, not speaking about their game. Right. So it's like great. That's great news, because they're really great people. So and it also means, just to finish, that because it's made so much money, Warner Bros. Are like, do it again. We want more money.
David Haddad, WB president, I think is his title. He's the highest of high with WB Games. He said like, yo, this is going to be a franchise. So we're getting more. And to like echo what Andy was talking about, I have talked to 2 people who worked on the game, and they have said that yes, bonuses have happened. And everybody is excited.
Good for them.
So they're expecting, just from what I've heard, they're expecting expansion for Avalanche Software as a studio. They might as well just take up the entire building, honestly, because they're sharing that building, I believe, the one they're in. And so obviously more people, more hands on deck, might even get better talent, more talent, like, and I just hope they keep the people who are there. And the people who worked on the game might be pulled to other games and get more money, and more power to them if they go that route. If they go that route. But I hope they're able to keep the people in house and not have anybody leave with these bonuses and stuff, for sure.
Do you know, sorry, Ben.
No, I said, go ahead. I'll remember.
No, dude, no, please.
So something I heard from, but that's at least with directing, like Cory Balrog worked on God of War, right?
Yeah.
He said about something, when you spend a game, it's so much longer than a movie. You put your heart and soul into it, and after that, you're burnt out. You're tired. You don't want to see it. Like, we have been covering that much. They sniffed and licked every single part. So for mental health and for everything, it would be better if someone else would be leading and someone else would be kind of taking over. So there will be some switch up, possibly, if they're going to go that route, not necessarily, but it's just
a lot of them don't. From at least the one, I'll just
same.
The ones I know,
from
the ones I've spoken to, like what Andy said, they're excited to get into the next one. They're giddy about going into the next phase. They're focused on this, and they're excited about getting everybody's hands on the Nintendo Switch version. I think they're going to make a buttload of money on the Switch version, because literally everybody has a Switch, but they are very excited about the possibilities for the next one. And so again, it just boils down to personal stuff that's happening in the background. If somebody has to leave, job security as well, because somebody might pay them more and give them a better offer than WB Games or Avalanche Software might be able to give them. We had a lot of cats on contract as well over there who did a lot of other stuff. A couple of people who I still talk to still. And so again, it's just narrowing down, get the people paid who did all this work, who's been there, but also keep the talent in-house and keep them coming back, so we can get the same effect for the second and sequel and DLC and whatever stuff they're doing.
Did you guys see, it was back in May 1st, they posted 2 jobs I don't know if this was an
Yes,
error or
you
not.
did a video on that, right?
Yeah.
I know. And I was surprised to see. I didn't see many people talking about it, but in the job listing, it said to work on an unannounced AAA console title. I made a video about it. I think less than 24 hours later, it had been
Gone.
changed.
Yeah.
I
It had
remember.
been
Yeah.
changed.
It's
And
been
so I
taken
just
off.
hopped on the website
was?
now.
It was changed. The post.
Yeah.
They
The
changed
wording,
the part
the
about
It was
wording.
edited.
AAA console
The wording.
title.
Yeah.
They took that
Oh.
out.
Thanks,
So it
Retro.
could have been a mistake. Like it could have been a
Repo, copy paste.
Wow, yeah. I mean, because you know, HR, you're posting a lot of job listings,
Dude,
cutting and
yeah.
pasting
Like
things.
one
You're
we know
right.
for sure.
You're
That
spot on, man. Like you're spot on with that because they did the same with Ghost of Tsushima when they were posting for their new Ghost of Tsushima game, which apparently is supposed to come out next year.
Next year, yeah.
Yeah. So they Sucker Punch. They like once it was on Twitter, they just removed all the postings. So I think you're spot. I think you're spot on, man. Like that's a great catch. So yeah,
But
I
even
think
now, I was looking. They have a bunch of jobs posted right now, and it says join the team behind the blockbuster open world action RPG
Yes.
Hogwarts Legacy as we
Yes.
create what's next.
Yes.
there you go.
I mean,
Yes.
they are actively hiring.
Yes.
They need to like
yeah.
to be honest, like it would be you in my opinion, Warner Brothers in this really competitive gaming market sitting on a bit of a unicorn. Like, you know, it's
Yeah.
ridiculously it's a
Absolutely.
good game.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
like it's really up to them to then continue that success
Yep.
and continue to pay the people what they're worth to make another fantastic game and expand upon it. But that's
And
totally up to them.
And don't wait. Get going now.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
That's why I'm
Yeah.
kind of disappointed they haven't at least announced a DLC. Even if it's not going to come out till next year, I'm like, you're in that time right now where if people bought physical copies, they're selling their games, they're trading them in. I just wish we had something of like one's coming. Even if it was
exactly because
teaser.
people gotta know because that I feel like if there is an announcement that there's something coming, people are gonna hype up again. And you know, if there is a decline of people playing, just the news will bring people back. Like, okay, something is new coming up. It's not dying. I can stay here and be
Yeah.
focused.
Maybe announce it back to Hogwarts.
Yeah. September
Thank
1st.
People
They
are
were
in Orlando right
present
now.
there last
Yeah.
year.
Yeah. Full
When was
circle.
didn't Chandler like post on Twitter about being at Orlando and then
Yeah.
Right now. Right now.
They're right
and
now.
then-
They're there.
Right now.
Yeah,
They're there
there's
right now.
they're obviously doing a little like they may
Promotion.
be doing a video promotion for like the Switch, perhaps. I mean,
There is a community
Well,
manager of Hogwarts Legacy who is there. The person who replies
It's like,
No,
studying
it's
Is an
literally the
influencer
same crew.
marketer.
It's the same people
crew.
that do
It's
the
same
promo.
crew. Yeah,
It's the same
crew.
4 of them that went last year to Orlando after Comic Con.
Yep.
and that's where
'cause
Chandler filmed his Back to Hogwarts segment. Remember
Yes,
that?
because then it
Yeah.
was like, oh
And-
yeah, look at that.
and they were there. If you saw the picture,
We figured it out.
There is
I
no
know.
way there's nobody behind them.
They went in the morning, as they said. They were then in the morning.
But the thing is, they went in the morning last time before it opened through WB. So
they did it again.
it's
They did it
Hogwarts.
again.
Yeah, they did it again.
It's
It's
empty.
Hogwarts. Every time I've gone there, every time I've gone to Universal Orlando, even the one in LA that I've gone 2
Mhm.
times,
There's a lot of people.
there's always people. There's
Always.
always people going into the rides. You can't just tell people, no, don't come. I'm taking a picture. Like people are walking. And so I think
Wow.
they're doing something.
Yeah,
I think they're
they
doing
are.
something. Yeah.
An
for sure.
announcement. Because
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
Well, and what else can be? What else can they be preparing? Like
Yeah.
the Twitch drops already not have like the streams are done.
Yeah.
Seems like they're not going to be doing. Well, they might do again.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I
that's,
mean, I'm with Lynette. Like Back to Hogwarts, even if it's not DLC, they have to have some kind of presence there,
Exactly.
announcing something. I mean,
Yeah.
and that makes sense
DLC
because this
seems
type of
logical to me, but
Yeah.
And when are
takes
we
a
going to
lot
have
to-
our Harry Potter festival so we can plan?
Oh my God, guys!
they haven't
we-
announced that either, have they? I know, James, I saw you tweeting at them, right? Has
Yeah,
there been a
I
date
tweeted.
announced or something?
I've been on the forefront on this one. I'm pretty sure it's not happening.
What? What not happening?
Well,
this,
yeah, I guess they said
fest.
2023, didn't they?
Yeah.
Harry
So
Potter Fan Fest or
you
whatever.
usually with a
Oh.
lot of their announcements for any event like a fan Wizards Unite Fest or what Wizards Unite Fest, oh my gosh, Wizarding World Festival, but like for their exhibition that they change locations every couple of months, for they had the Yule Ball last year that they introduced. They do their Halloween thing, Forbidden Forest stuff. They usually Harry Potter fan club people usually get about 3 months, I think, at least notice before
Oh,
the
yeah.
tickets and stuff go out.
I forgot
If
about that.
I haven't seen it in the Harry Potter fan club at all. And we are usually the ones getting early access to the tickets and notice that something's happening. Haven't seen it. And the thing is, if they're doing it in the United States, which they said they were going to do, then you only have a small window. And it's June, middle of June right now, almost at the end of June, then July, August, and then school is back running right now in September. And they haven't said anything. So I think it's not happening.
Guys, what about we do something like that?
I was gonna say we'll do our
We
own.
have talked. Andy, you want to come to Orlando?
Yeah.
Just hang out with us.
Absolutely.
Yo,
Sign me up.
We'll
Sign me
start-
up.
Let's get a Kickstarter. All of everybody meet in Orlando.
Serious?
Yo, no,
Live
like
podcast.
honestly,
I would go.
A live podcast in
Right.
Universal.
Not Orlando, but just us to be together.
So I've
I'd love that.
organized.
Seriously,
I've
seriously.
organized with my community a meetup before at the Harry Potter store in New York, and we did it like it. We just thought of it. We're like, hey, let's do it. You know, we talked about it on Wizarding Wednesdays, and I was like, crap, it's not enough time for people to get noticed. But we're like, we just want to see each other. So we did it. We ended up having like over 50, like 60 people there. I had a whole video and stuff. You guys can see it on the channel. And so with a lot of stuff like this, you just have to have a good time and a couple of months notice to do something like this. And honestly, I know we're doing one with Friggin' Nerds and stuff where I do the podcast and stuff with them, but I've always wanted to do one with the Hogwarts Legacy creators because I've only seen you guys like once. I see Lynette all the time, so it's fine there. But I like Andy, like a podcast now, like a nightly, like all of them, Scrubworks, like any of the cats, especially like in the US, if there's a way we can like set up and then get like an Andy and everybody else, like even what's his name, my boy who was joining me in the Merlin theories. If I can get like any UK cats, Sly, yes, we can get all those cats. Like, I think it would be a fun time, and I think the community would be interested. So, if anything, if we can like set up something, whether it's later this year or just start planning something for next year, and just pick a window or a month, and just like start setting aside money now, and just like do a meetup, I think that can be done easily, especially with all the channel supporters and people coming in. They're like, yo, we will help make it happen. You like, all you got to do is put it out there, and people will come out of nowhere just to make sure it happens.
I'm brewing an idea here. You know, Hogwarts Legacy, shout out to their community team. They did such a great job involving creators in the announcement of the game. Whenever it comes time to announce a sequel, I mean, why don't you just gather a bunch of creators in, gather us down at Universal, shoot some things that might be used in marketing materials. I think that would be a great
That is an excellent idea.
I like that. That's a fantastic idea.
Hey, WB, get me on a flight.
I'm trying to get your passport, Andy. It's
here.
happening. Get your passport. It's happening.
Get me on that flight immediately.
Wait, Andy, can you actually travel? Can you travel to the US, or do you need a visa?
Yeah. I've been to the US, mate. Yeah, I'm well cultured. You see.
Nice.
I've been to Washington DC
Wonderful.
and New York. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
One thing when I was in the States, you guys have like terribly weak beer. Like it's like 1% alcohol. Or something like that.
Yo, wait, no, it's only weak because y'all been drinking since 16. So.
That is true.
It's a fact.
Exactly.
Honestly, like here in the UK, it's like 9 years old. It's like have a pint of 8% alcohol beer.
That's
Oh
why
my
I
God.
Ale.
anymore because I'm over it already. I tried it in my time back then.
That's hilarious.
Oh my
yeah,
god.
Cloud Ross says some local craft IPAs. Yes, mate. Sign me up for some of that. Actually, on that, if I am coming across, I want to be wined and dined in some local bars. Okay,
Oh my God.
the local American bar.
We have some terms.
If we're going to New York or LA,
Yeah, we gotta do
I got
both
peoples.
before.
I got peoples. I can hook you up. I got people.
Yeah,
there.
man,
In
I need to be on
Orlando,
the-
I don't know anything down there. I don't know.
I need to be on the sauce. You know, I
Hog
need to be
Ted,
flying the
fire
flag.
whiskey, man.
Fire
Right on
whiskey,
Hog
yeah.
Oh
Ted.
my gosh.
Yo, or just get the if we do New York, I would love to do New York. New York's so expensive, but the Harry Potter store in
It
New
is.
York is so amazing. I love that
Yeah.
place. But yeah, you might as well just do Universal and like go there and just have some fun. Like, yo, we got to make this happen.
We have
Yo, chat. Next year, we're doing it. We got
a
to do
couple of years, or maybe anniversary, like one
WB,
anniversary of
you can
Hogwarts
do
Legacy.
it. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Set this up.
Yes. Yeah. Ooh,
No, I'm
anniversary.
honestly, I would really love that. So please let me know because
Yeah.
I'll start putting some pennies aside because that sounds
Yeah.
like a wonderful trip.
Well, I know Andy, you did the event over there. I don't know how well you knew the creators that you met up with there, but like I got to meet all these folks here for the first time, and just the few hours that we were together wasn't
Yeah.
very long, but I'm just like,
Mhm.
man, you just come away so fired up about
For sure.
community and making content. So like
was-
anytime I
yeah.
ever get a chance to have an experience like that again, it's like
Yeah.
I'm jumping at it, you know?
Yeah.
Definitely, man. Like here in the UK, like I mean, in terms of kind of like core Hogwarts Legacy community, when people were making videos for like over a year and stuff, there wasn't really anyone else, to be honest. It was like me, and then the rest of the people there had like 1-2 million like kind of subscriber base.
Wow.
And there's me at the time. I think I had like 30k subs, and I was just like,
Yeah.
"Yo, Chandler, my boy, Andrew, how you doing?"
Oh my God.
That's how I felt. When we went to the testing, it's like I met Hollow, who was also like a couple of million.
Oh yeah.
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 Hi,
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
Hello, sir. Hello, I'm a big fan.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Timar, who's with them now in Orlando, he was there the day James and I went playing the game.
Yeah. But I mean, again, it just goes back to Chandler just having an ear to the ground with what's
For sure.
happening within the
And Eric.
community. And Eric focuses more on the big picture stuff, honestly, if we're being honest. Chandler's the one who's like, I saw like a day in the life with him just kind of reading emails and like checking social media and like just not responding to stuff, but kind of just looking at all the responses that
Basically
people were saying.
everything.
Yeah, everything. He's
Everything.
literally looking at everything. And so I'm just like, bro, like that's Chandler. Like I love Eric. I think Eric is doing everything else. And like he was the director for the showcases and like obviously for the Sebastian Dark Legacy trailer and stuff. He and Andrew helped out with like the footage and stuff. And I know who did the lighting, all that other stuff, but Chandler's job literally is to survey Reddit, Twitter, all the socials, even Facebook and everything, and see what videos. He was like, yeah, I have a list of videos I'm going to watch. Yeah. Oh, I saw you posted a video about it yesterday. Yeah, I'm going to check that out. Like, that's his job while also communicating with not only Avalanche Software, but the higher ups over at WB. Because like when we were shooting the showcase, and Eric had like these cats who work for JK on the phone. I was just like, oh my God. I was like 6 degrees of separation right there. I was just like, all right. Oh my God.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So that's
I met them, by the way.
Really?
JK's agent, so that they were down at the
Nice.
London one.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
they were like, it was like they were walking on water, people that were just
Yes.
like,
Like, it's
like the
crazy.
kind of, yeah. very nice.
I would
video.
love
Very
to.
nice.
I mean, Chandler could never answer this, but it's not normal, I don't feel like, for a single player game to have a community manager that like stays through a launch.
No.
Yeah.
And he couldn't say, obviously, because
That's
Yeah.
what
but I would love to know like what his job, like what his directives are for the next 2 years, you know? Like
Yeah.
what his goals are for the next 2 years, because that would tell us a lot about
I
how
think
they see the franchise going forward.
That's
you
a
know?
great point.
that's also
Yeah,
kind of confirms that sequel is happening because
I mean, you don't make that kind of money and not. That's why I keep saying, like, there's some people who are saying they don't think DLC is going to happen, which I can't imagine they pass that up.
I know.
Opportunity up. I just can't imagine.
It's just
What
you
would you put
printing
in
money
it?
with the DLC.
What
Yeah,
would you, so for that DLC then, like, what would you, if they're working on a second game, which of course they are, because I when I asked the narrative director Moira Squire about it, like in person again, I was like, "Yo, so can you write another game?"
Name drop.
I honestly, I was going around and I was pretty much
gosh.
interrogating everybody there.
Yeah. Sequel.
I was
What's
like
this?
this very-
DLC.
Yeah, I was like this very small channel. Everyone's chilling with beers, and I'm like, Moira, tell me, second Hogwarts, what are we doing?
I love it.
Who is
We're
this
the
guy?
true fans. We're the
love
true
it.
fans. We're the ones asking
what
the
is-
questions.
What is happening, Moira? Tell me. Anyway, but she was like, because at that time, obviously we didn't know the sequel was happening, but I was like, it's obviously going to happen. So, like,
Yeah.
are you going to make it, and what are you going to make it about? And she was like, well, there's definitely lots of content for her and the narrative team to like
Yeah.
create a sequel, right? They can do it for sure, which was super encouraging to hear. So
Yeah.
after such a successful launch, like, you know, if you've got the big boss lady who's writing the kind of story and working with the team saying, yeah, I can write another story. then like, cool, all right, great. But I
Yeah.
reckon that's going to take time, right? So
Yeah.
because I think, like James, you were saying earlier, like a lot of the staff were on like contracts,
Yep.
and that's the same when I spoke to them as
Yep.
well. And
Yep.
if you're wondering, yeah, I did ask them, like, so what's your job plan for the next 12 months? Like,
You're like
But they were
interviewing
like, yeah.
every person.
yeah, I know.
What's your
But they
5-year
were like,
plan?
yeah, tell me. But they also said, you know, they're waiting. Their contract ends just after launch, so it was up
Exactly.
to WB to then decide, okay,
Exactly.
do we renew this game? So
Yep.
we can already assume that that's all been done, right? The staff's
Yeah.
been kept on and renewed, and there's more staff being
I mean,
hired.
Chandler's clearly recording some kind of announcement in Florida.
Yeah, so with this
there's something
DLC,
going on.
this DLC, let's say it takes about, if the DLC is going to be about 10 to 20 hours or so, which is maybe
Normal.
15 hours, which is a normal DLC size for this
Yeah.
type of single player game, that's going to take about a year or so of
Yep.
development, really,
Yep.
maybe a bit more. So I wouldn't be surprised if we have it in spring next year, which then keeps things ticking over until maybe the following year, which is when they release the second game, if they can do it in that time. If
Yeah.
not, then maybe the year after that. But like, I don't know. If they sell it for, though, how much would you think that would be? I mean, everyone's just going to buy it. That's the thing. I
29.
know.
Yeah. I think between 1999 and 2099
Yeah.
for sure.
I agree.
But
Yeah.
to
sounds right.
piggyback on your theory that it's next year, think about it, because there's already technically a DLC that will come to every platform, which is the Haunted Hogsmeade Shop Quest. It's only on PlayStation.
True. That is true.
Yeah.
And
That
I
is
think
true.
they will announce it. They will be saying, hey, it's now here. They will have promotion
Yeah.
for that. With it, possibly, they can be bringing something else that will not only be a new thing for everybody, but, well, literally there's going to be something new for everyone.
But also PlayStation.
Yeah.
If you're gonna, if let's say Hogwarts Legacy, this DLC, it has to be a continuation of some story, and this gets me thinking that, okay, they've left. Was it development time they ran out for like Ravenclaw storyline potentially? Or was
Yeah,
that confirmed as like
That's the theory. That's the
That's the
theory.
theory. Okay, so
Yeah.
let's say they've run out of time, but they actually had the story there. Let's say for Ravenclaw,
That was going to be my
Why-
question.
why not like create a DLC where they finally have time to finish an already planned story within the main game.
Yeah.
Or if they have other stories that they just couldn't include in the main game, or other stuff that they couldn't include in the main game, why not then package all of those things as a finished product
Yeah.
into a DLC, right?
Yeah.
Maybe including Quidditch, I don't know. And then you go, hey, look, we've got 3 new mainline stories for you to finish, and we've got some really cool extra side content and quests, and we've expanded the map a little bit more, so there's some new areas and new adversaries for you to fight.
Yeah.
And it will in total take you about 15 hours or so to complete, and maybe that'll keep things ticking over, because then it stays within the main game.
You're right.
So it's
Right.
so it's not moving different eras. And then they can then perhaps build on a proper expansion, which includes like Triwizard Tournament in a different era, or maybe new students, or maybe and then Hogwarts Legacy 2. It's whether they decide to continue into the next year for us, or do you just start on a completely different generation?
That's a good question. But I go nuts about DLCs. I made already like 2 videos. I think there's so many possibilities, especially as you said, like they can, if you look at the map, it's square and we have stuff only in the middle. It's just a valley. But what if, like with a DLC, they add stuff on the left or right and we travel to it, like we traveled to the southern coast, right? We go through like an entrance,
Nice,
whatever, and then there's that new area. But well, I theorize about other stuff like werewolves and mer people, mostly because there's a lot of like, so almost Easter eggs, but little stories about werewolves. But it's just left there. And if you think of it, there's so much cut out from the game that was even shown in the trailers or some ASMRs that is just not there. Like no one's like, we only do it in the ending, right? During dueling, when the beams connect. People found different animations of Quidditch within the game. Their animation. For example, where's a thunderstorm? We saw a thunderstorm in the ASMR, fall ASMR, and there's not a single thunderstorm there in the game ever.
True.
And like there's things like that are just not happening. And you're like, wait,
like glass shatter. What? There's no thunderstorms in the game? I guess
didn't even think about that. Yeah,
you're right.
You never hear a thunderstorm, but it was telegraphed to us in that fall ASMR. And I was like, did they forget that? Is this a bug that everyone never think about?
Yeah,
I think
like,
there's a lot of. I mean, I hate to call it like easy options, but there's a lot of sort of low-hanging fruit in terms of things they could do that may not even fit into a DLC, like just easy, like New Game Plus. I feel like that's a logical thing to bring people back. Making it so you can do Summoner's Court multiple times. Making it so you can do the what's the other one? The flying, you can go back and redo those, but there's one more. I can't think of it right now.
What, the game?
Yeah, like there's one more little mini thing you can do. Summoner's Court, then there's the flying.
You mean the Depulso puzzles, the thing that I almost rage quit the game over?
Maybe I'm
I hate those.
Yes, I feel like you have those, and then I feel like also when it comes to DLC, you cannot tell me that Azkaban was built and created and you made Dementors just for a 5-minute walkthrough.
I know.
You can't tell me that's all it was for.
For me, it was 30 because I stared at it. But
no way.
I think so.
Yeah, I think that would be so.
It's a big asset. It's a big asset in the game that it's just sitting there.
It's already there.
Now,
there was not a lot to it. Like
no. In that quest, I try to just stand there as long as possible, even though I was like, there's nothing to do, but I'm gonna look at this.
You can't interact and do anything. But they still built it. It's still there. They put Dementors in the trailer. They were originally intended to be way more, I feel like. So a DLC where you go to Azkaban and have to learn Expecto Patronum.
Yeah.
Along the
way. Exactly. It's already in the game.
Happen.
Because it's a cast, there's animation of it. Everything is already in place for it. Just piggyback.
Wasn't that a cutscene though?
Yeah, when the lady
she did it. It was a cutscene, so it's not really in the game because it was a cutscene. So they would have to add. I think that after
But
being burnt by
worth it.
Merlin, I'm just like, I honestly, I don't. I think the low hanging fruit is just easy to do because they're so focused
The what?
on the low hanging fruit. What
Wait,
Retro was
no,
talking
Like
about,
the
like
new game
the
plus,
new game
the,
plus,
Summoner's
just
Court.
just making Summoner's Court readily available anytime you want. Like these other stuff, because they're so like all their sources are working on getting the Switch version out. Like they had to delay it.
Mhm.
They had to delay it because this is going to take longer than they thought. And I think because of that delay, that pushed back the DLC plans also, and even development on the DLC, because it's all hands on deck, which is probably why they're still trying to get more people to maybe help with not only the sequel, but maybe even the DLC in between the release of the sequel. Because I honestly, I don't think we're getting a sequel till like at least 2025 like holiday.
Sounds about right.
That's the
Oh,
least in my opinion.
Yeah.
I agree,
Just
yeah.
because like if you're adding a new area, if you're adding new mechanics, if you're adding more spells, new players, new NPCs to fill up their area, like I think it's going to take longer. Now the thing is, it's not going to take as long obviously as it took for Hogwarts Legacy, because they already have
the
blueprint.
foundation.
Yep, you already have it there. And they're probably going to have more people in-house now due to the success of Hogwarts
And
Legacy.
you can probably drop. I don't think they're going to do PS4 anymore. They're not
Yeah.
They have
Well,
to
PS5 will be backwards. Will be the old gen now, though. By the time it comes out, because they're already talking about PS6.
No, really? Already?
Probably
Yeah.
get a PS5 Pro first.
But there's no PS.
They're claiming.
Well,
Slim
the whole thing with Activision and PlayStation is they're not telling Activision anything about the PlayStation 6, just in case Activision is bought out by Microsoft.
I saw that today.
So I'm like, if they're already talking about the PlayStation 6, I'm just like, bruh.
I mean, they start talking about that day one, like when they release PS5.
True.
But you're right. I mean, it could be
PS5 will be the old
2025.
PS5 will be the old gen, because PS5's been out since 2020.
Yeah,
I don't think it'd be old gen by then. I think it would be in its like. I think we would
Near
maybe
end.
get an announcement of PS. Well, because they haven't even. Tom Henderson, Insider Gaming, still is going hard on saying that they're going to release a PS5 Pro.
Okay.
So it's not even out yet. So if you do that next year, there's no way they would. I can't see them releasing the 6.
Yeah, PS6 is be in 4 years at least.
You think we're getting a Legacy in 2025? Because I said the earliest holiday.
Yeah, earliest. Yeah.
That might be too early.
Yeah, I think it's too early. A
game needs about 3 years.
Well, it also depends on like how big they want to do the DLC. Because like one of you was saying, like a lot of times when you finish the game, they're gonna have so many things that they had to cut. Which like everybody was trying to make that. I saw a bunch of articles like Hogwarts Legacy cut this and that. I'm like, guys, literally every game I think that's ever been created has significant things that don't make it in the final version. So it's like, do they take all that stuff that didn't fit and they're like, oh, this is our DLC,
right?
Or is it no, this is going to go all into the sequel, and the DLC is just going to be, I mean, the DLC could literally be like take like the Haunted Hogsmeade mission and make it like an Azkaban mission and a couple new beasts, a new spell, a couple new cosmetics. That could be your DLC pack. I hope it's much bigger than that, but it could be as small as that. Or it could be a really big expansion, like Witcher 3 Blood and Wine style expansion, which is what I want to see.
Yeah.
If they do DLC, which I'm still saying they will.
Yeah, I think so.
And that's where I'm torn, because thinking about what even is going to be in the sequel. DLC is one thing, right? Little expanded, but it's sequel, because we always wanted for this experience
James is
open
ready.
world.
It's like I feel us getting back to where we were the last time we talked. We were going off on sequel ideas. I laid out like a 10-year.
Go for it, Ben. I want to hear.
So, all right, Ben.
I don't have yet. I'm still in the place where I'm trying to come up with a theory because I'm trying to think where they're going to go. Are they going to go the route we continue to year 6 and 7 and then just continue studying at school, or is it going to be something absolutely different? Because I think what we haven't really experienced ever, really, or seen is graduation.
Right.
I think it would be
Oh.
great to skip year 6 and go all the way almost to the end of year 7, where we remember some stuff, be a little bit of Hogwarts, and then
You said that, Retro.
What's that?
Last time.
graduate. You did?
I said do DLC as like a year
Year
6.
6, and
a
then
year
the sequel
7.
is going to have year
Oh,
7.
Yeah,
Okay.
but they'll never do that.
So then focus on so we can choose a path somewhere outside. But then it's like you have Hogwarts as a huge asset. You want to use it somehow.
You
but
have to.
Yeah.
You have to use Hogwarts somehow.
Yeah.
But remember, Ben, I came up with the idea of we're a professor. We become
Yes,
a
that's
professor,
cool.
and you're
Yeah.
mentoring a student. Then you can keep it
And
at
you
Hogwarts.
have to go, but you
Hear
can
me
also go to the ministry
Yes,
or,
yes, you travel
do
around.
business because you're an adult.
It's so awesome. But hear me out. This is like super crazy idea.
Wait, pause. Pause.
Random.
Pause.
Yes. Okay.
We're graced by the presence of one of the best developers over at Avalanche
Todd,
Software.
blink twice. No, I'm just kidding. If we're onto something.
Todd, what's up, Todd? Go check out his artwork as well. He's doing some comic stuff, coloring. He's kind of doing that
What's
on the
up,
side.
Todd?
So
Welcome in.
everybody say hi to
Nice.
Todd.
Hi, Todd.
Hey, dude.
But I'm sorry, I just wanted to do that. But go ahead, Ben. Go ahead, Ben.
Yeah, this is just it's like I'm recording my video, but I'm kind of being like open. I'm not scripting at all about the sequel. So imagine we start Hogwarts, everything is okay, we continue studying,
Close my eyes.
Yes, send it
Picturing
up. Okay.
this.
and that you're picturing it, right? And
Mhm.
then something bad happens to Hogwarts. It explodes. I don't know. Evil,
Instant
God.
I love
magic
it. I
down
love
there,
it. Yeah, no.
dude.
Come on.
evil forces come.
Reparo Maxima.
Yes, the most maxima that we can get.
Kind of like an Elden Ring, right? Like some shit hit the fan and corrupted. Everybody's gone, and like they don't have Hogwarts. And our job, the entire game, is going to be
Oh my
fighting back,
gosh. You're like rebuilding Hogwarts?
building
Oh
Hogwarts
my god.
back
way.
together. You know, I feel like because like that would be cool because we care about Hogwarts and we want to get it back to our thing.
That would
But-
be another you could that's another way you could take people out of Hogwarts and do the other locations. See,
Yeah.
that's what I thought. Like when we found out about what was it? When we found out about like the ancient magic stuff and we found out about Gringotts being in the game, and then we thought Azkaban sort of kind of ended up being in
Yeah.
the game. I thought we were going to be traveling around the wizarding
To those
world
places, yeah.
as like those were the ancient magic hotspots. And so
Yeah.
like you have this whole
Yes.
quest where you're in Gringotts and that sounds like that's kind of what you're talking about, something like that, where you're going around and then bringing those towers back to rebuild the school.
I've been playing Zelda so much, so when you were talking about Hogwarts exploding and like
Yeah.
stuff, I was like, and then it rises from the ground, and then it's all corrupted, and we have to go in there, and it's all haunted, a big haunted Hogsmeade, but
I mean,
Hogwarts.
similar kind, not literally that, but it's the plot that is familiar.
Where
in
you
a
have
way.
a big bad that,
What?
or you have a big bad or some sort of like event that causes
Yeah.
catastrophe.
And we have
Hey,
to
I
fix
think
things.
I guess the problem, in my opinion, with Hogwarts is that if you were to do it again, you'd have a lot of people saying, "Well, what's the kind of progression here? What's the iteration of what we've
All
already
the
done in the first
secrets.
game?"
Exactly. That's my
Exactly.
So
point.
like it's like
Yeah.
so I feel like the next game has to be out of Hogwarts a lot. I feel like there's a huge world there to explore, and I feel like you've got to remember as well. I try and make myself remember because I get too engrossed with like loving the story and stuff, right? But
Mhm.
a lot of people have bought this game as like cold fans or lukewarm fans who aren't
Right.
as engaged into the
Right.
franchise as we are. So I feel that that's why it's been so successful, because it's been adopted
Absolutely.
and purchased by the masses, right? So
Yep.
I feel like if you're going to try and replicate the success of this main game, you're going to have to bring something new to the table. And I feel that if you're just going to repackage and rebuild the same Hogwarts, like, that's great, and I'll love it, and I know all of us here will love it, because there'll be more secrets and new places to find. But the Transfiguration Room is still going to be there. You know, it's still going to predominantly be in the same
You
place.
can't do the same
Yeah,
Revelio
so-
pages in the
so
same
then
spot.
exactly. So then why not then look like outside of the cup? Maybe we for Hogwarts Legacy 2, perhaps we're in our final year as a student and we're actually coming to the end of it, and we're going to do our exams and stuff, and then we go out into the world, and perhaps then we can really choose where we want to take our character. And from a gameplay perspective, I do feel that one of the reasons which people were so purchased the game or got involved in the game is because of the freedom to kind of pick what spells you want to do, those being unforgivable spells.
Right.
So maybe you want to really become like a dark wizard out of Hogwarts. You've just left Hogwarts. What kind of wizard are you going to become in the wizarding world? I think that would be like enticing, because you've left school now, and you can always go back. Obviously, it's already been built and made by the team, but like, why not explore these other avenues of like rich lore and history outside the grounds? Like that, as a fan, I'd be like, hey, I'm going to be a Grindelwald, or I'm going to be a Voldemort, or am I going to be an Aura where I can hunt down dark wizards in the game and secure them, bring them back to the Ministry for questioning,
and actually make the choices impact the game. We talked about that a lot last time. Like, make it have an impact on the story.
Exactly. Have a morality system. You like, in Star Wars, the old Knights of the Old Republic,
so
the game, you can go dark side or light side, and your appearance actually changes. Like, the more as you go more dark side, you get massive bags, your eyes become more Sith-like. Well, why can you not do that like with dark wizards? Why can't you become like why establish your own like dark wizard cult? And I don't know, like, I'm spitballing here, but I think that would be like
I feel like we got to mention Todd's comment too, because this is exciting. He said, I'm still working on Hogwarts Legacy for Switch, so my mind isn't even on what's next, but others are on what's next.
Yes,
let's go.
Flip it.
What a legend. What a legend.
Don't worry, Todd. We're not going to post it on Reddit or anything.
It'll be on Game Rant tomorrow morning, Todd.
Front page.
But I totally agree with what Andy said. Is that that was exactly my thought. We experienced that. We were sorted into Hogwarts as fifth years. That's it was strange, right? So we experienced that first day at Hogwarts. We go into classes. We had that. Now what? Right? So it's like, for those people who are, as you said, casual, lukewarm, I like that phrase, lukewarm fans of Harry Potter, how are you gonna get them involved? And like, they have to flip the table or play out. Something that I was thinking about London is that another big part of also in Harry Potter, there's also muggles, and you're hiding away, and you want to give out the wizarding world. And so having London, that could be the entire place where you can only, or you have to be stealthy, like be secret, be hiding away from muggles. Not just about Ministry and Diagon Alley, but there could be enemies that are situated in certain places where you have to act very stealthily.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. All right. I'm telling y'all what's going to happen right now.
All right.
I'm going to tell you guys what's going to happen right now. I think
breaking NDA.
Oh yeah, I just shared it.
Thank you for your sacrifice.
I will follow this sword right now. Just so I can be
raise
right,
the wands right now.
No, I just sent you guys in the Discord a thumbnail I'm working on for the video I was talking about with London, and this is where I'm getting and it's in the general thing, but this is where I'm getting like the thought process for the sequel. And obviously, I think it has to go year 6. It has to be year 6. But I'm pitching it as our version of the Order of the Phoenix. In the Order of the Phoenix, there was a lot of Ministry involvement with not only us as a character with Harry, but also within the school. They were trying to obviously move Dumbledore out of his position and stuff, and all that other stuff. Corruption. Ministry is corrupt, all that other stuff. And I point to the ministry involvement with us getting to Hogwarts in the first place. Both George works at the ministry. Fig wanted to work at the ministry, but then decided to travel with his wife. Before all that stuff went down with his wife, obviously, we get the field guide from the ministry. A lot of ties to the ministry. I think even Professor Black I can't remember, but there's a lot of ties to the ministry and us in general, just involvement. Now, they could have done that narratively to explain us having a field guide and us catching up and everything like that. But whatever they did, whatever reason they did it, now they have a reason to involve the ministry in our involvement with everything that's happened in Hogwarts Legacy storyline, narratively speaking. So Ancient Magic, for example, now they're like, yo, do we want to leave this decision that we made, whether you chose to hide it or whether you chose to tell people about it? Why are we letting this 15, 16-year-old witch or wizard make this decision in the first place? So now the ministry is like, bro, like either shut your mouth or like, yo, like we want to tell others. So then they can carry on with our morality and kind of play off of the decision we made at the end of the game. So now we can get into London and start exploring dark wizards, in not so much poachers, because I feel like the dark wizards were mostly poachers in Hogwarts Legacy, but actual dark wizards, Nocturne Alley, obviously Diagon Alley, and then we started getting into like the Night Bus. Heck, Hogwarts Express platform 9 3/4 is there in London. The ministry is there in London. Heck, we should be able to go visit.
Alley. We didn't even get.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, and we started the game in London in the first place, which is where we already got our stuff. So my thing is like, narratively speaking, I'm just like, yo, just do a play on the ministry and its reach into Hogwarts and us as a character and what they're trying to do with Ancient Magic. And so I think London has to be a huge spot for us and going back and forth between Hogwarts. So then that way it's already there. Maybe introduce other classes, because they did not give us all the classes. So they can still have us take classes, new classes that we didn't take there, while allowing us to sit down in the common rooms and little stuff like that. But
just sit down.
Just sit down. I just want to sit down.
I still don't understand that one, but a lot of people ask for it. So.
I want to. There's some nights I just want to go into the common rooms and just
do stuff.
Just do stuff. It really is.
I thought you were gonna say just sit down.
No. I want to do stuff, but honestly, I would not mind sitting down and looking around.
About this,
I
totally agree. Like common rooms, they're so pretty, but you only come back there to put the thingies in the chest, and that's it.
yeah.
I just, man, I would love if Chandler or somebody could let us know, is this what a pitch meeting is like? Like when Moira gets the team, I mean, do they just say, let's hear it, Jane? What are your ideas for the sequel? Yo, I would love to be a fly on the wall, man.
That's why I'm trying to get these videos out, because I'm like, I know they watch them. I'm just like, bruh, I'm going to start putting little stuff in your head. Even if you don't use it, I would just want 1% of the 80 videos I've put out just to be used in
be right. You know what we should do?
Because everything goes into consideration.
I love that pitch. So, mate, I just want to say I love that pitch, and I'd be really interested to get Todd's opinion on that pitch. If he's still here, if you're there, Todd, I would really love to see what you think on that.
One thing I would, if Todd, I don't know if Todd's able to answer this or not, but I would love to know, like, which came first with Hogwarts Legacy, the story or the gameplay side? Because that's one of the things. Last of Us is one of my favorite games ever made, and that's hearing how Neil and Bruce talked about how they sort of developed that game as Neil was like the story guy, Bruce is the gameplay guy. Oh, he said no comment. We tried. Okay. But I would love, with like a game like Hogwarts, I would just love to know how that works in conjunction with because the folks who are really good at gameplay design. Yeah. The gentleman, was his name, was it Troy who did the combat? He's not the guy who's doing Sebastian's story. No. So it's like, how do they? I would love to see how all that works. And which came first.
it's a great question. I've asked a few developers about this, but like about different games.
Yeah.
And how it's done is that there'll be like a director or studio head who's been told, hey, go make this game. You need to make a new game or new IP, right? And then there will be ideas internally which are then pitched forward.
Yeah.
And it's predominantly on the storyline first. You have to have an established storyline for where the game's going. And then after that is being kind of decided upon, okay, this is the core of our story. All the other gameplay kind of adds into that because
Fits
then
into it.
it
Yeah.
builds on the
That makes
story of
sense.
kind of what kind of. So, for example, using Hogwarts Legacy, you'll have like, okay, well, the whole idea is you choosing to a point whether you want to use dark magic or not, and then saving Hogwarts or whatever. So obviously we're going to have the 3 unforgivable curses in the game. So we're going to have to program and build them into the game now because that's what's been signed off in terms of the storyline. So that's how it kind of would like go. That's my understanding from what I've been told. Anyway.
Yeah. Todd said some things are done in conjunction.
Exactly.
That's what I got too. When I was there, like I was asking, like, how does it all happening? And they have like different just departments, and then some people don't know what's going on.
Right. Exactly.
Even Alan, when we were talking to Alan, it's like he's the game director. He would go and he's working with a team on something else, and then he'd come back to the other team a couple of days later. He's like, "That's amazing."
And they added a thing. Yeah.
It's there are people who then put pieces of the puzzles together. Then they know, but still, there's a direction.
Game development, man.
It's not easy. I imagine they
driven vehicle.
I imagine they must have like at the start gone in with it, even if they hadn't like finalized the story, but kind of gone right. We must have unforgivables in this game, like and then work it in somehow like that, like because if that I really do think that was a core selling point. To be honest with you, like
for sure.
I wanted to ask about that. Okay. Wait. Lynette and Ben, did you guys get to talk to John? When you
briefly, yeah.
Okay. When we talked, he kind of talked about like how it started from like nothing to the game being developed and the pitch and where it kind of went down and stuff like that. I won't go into it, but the process, at least with how it sounds, I think is right on with what Andy was talking about, at least from what I got from John Blackburn. And they had the idea and the story already like set up going into it, and they just needed to find out who would be willing to work with them with it, because WB wasn't down with it, I think, apparently initially, because you got to think back with the games like, they had some success, but then also like there really wasn't any success with the old Harry Potter games and stuff.
Yeah, sure.
And so with Portkey,
they sold well. They were just not great.
Not well. No. But with Portkey, what it allows them to do is now eventually tell their own story. So then I think that was the point where they were like, okay, we can do something here with AAA game and then go into it. But I think they already had the story from what I remember already established, and then it just went into development and then started adding pieces to the story to add to overall gameplay. But it was all focused on the center of character, ancient magic. Okay, let's go from there. So
the biggest thing we don't know that we how much
general sorry, man.
No worries.
Just gonna throw out what Todd said. In general, it all starts wide. Ideas, whether that's gameplay or story. And then he added, some guys are thinking up cool things to do in gameplay, while others are working on cool story ideas. So it's like
he said the biggest thing you guys don't know is how much the game changed.
Oh wow!
We did talk about it. I'm not gonna say what, because what I can say, but I have an idea.
What are
you
talking about? A lot of the companion stuff, I don't know if that's what you're alluding to. A lot of the companion stuff leaked about how they had that. The companions were initially meant to be more central to the gameplay in terms of how they follow you around, and I think that's actually like in the code. Like PC players have already found a lot of
in the code.
It is, because if there's a mod that lets you take people, and if you bring them, there are dialogues, the lines they react to the those candles that float in the forest, forbidden forest, they react to that. Like, oh, who would have thought about this?
Yeah. So, question before we get out of here, because we can talk about Hogwarts Legacy all day. One thing you would like to see added in either as DLC or a sequel. Just one thing you would like to see added. And let's start with Benjamin.
Okay. That's the theme of my first Hogwarts Legacy sequel video. Go bigger, just bolder, and go brutal. Go brutal. Make us fear for
Be
our
bold.
Our lives.
But that's how I like. Just we have an amazing game, and just imagine being it bigger than building upon what we have here.
Yeah.
And I trust whoever writes the story, they're gonna do an amazing job there. But let's have Ministry there. Let's have London there. Okay, that's it.
I love that.
Nice.
I'm gonna not repeat that because I'll just like +1 that comment. I since you brought up companions, I think that would be so fun to just have someone. I mean, I love games with companions, especially when there's a lot of chaos that can. I just love chaos, so having someone alongside with me doing all the weird stuff that I do in games, I think would be excellent. Less lonely.
It would feel like your own little golden trio a little bit.
Yeah. Just have like a little squad.
Yeah, I like that. Andy.
It's kind of two things.
Okay.
Which I really want, but I don't think it's gonna happen. But I think retro. I think we discussed this, dude, like ages ago, and it was about. I think actually all of us maybe we reached across the topic. It's about introducing a co-op dungeon running.
I knew that's where you're gonna go. Yeah,
I'm sorry, man. I've been
I'm with
talking
you
about this for like over a year plus now. I'm like, I need co-op. God damn it! I want to play this game with my friends.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
So I think being able to run like some really hard dungeons, with like 3, 4, 5, whatever, and you could look at Ghost of Tsushima's Legends as an example, because if for those of you who aren't familiar with that game, I think it was about a year and a bit after launch, actually, they released this DLC called Legends where you and your friends could group up and then deal with waves of enemies, pretty much like the arenas in Hogwarts anyway, but deal with more challenging enemies, customize your character a bit more, all that kind of juicy stuff. And I think that would be great fun, because for a single player game, by the way, there really is this great community. I know we talk about it all the time, but it is really engaged. Even at the time of like the single player games done, I don't recall another game, maybe apart from Assassin's Creed, perhaps, who does have that kind of like interest of talking about what's next. So I think being able to kind of harness that and allowing people to come together to show off their witch or wizard would be cool. And then a quick final thing would be like a morality system. And I don't think that'll happen in the DLC. I think that'll happen in the next game. And I think having a really detailed, intricate, not on Starfield Bethesda level, but like, maybe visual changes of your character or actual ripples affecting the storyline in some way would be cool.
Dude, I was just thinking the other day about we could potentially be closer to the sequel right now than we were to Hogwarts Legacy.
My God.
Started making videos on it. Because you talking about that, Andy, like just made me think of that. The build up, I was trying to scroll through quickly now and see what the date was when I made my first Hogwarts Legacy video.
Gosh.
Because it's been a while, but I think it was 2020.
When the reveal trailer.
Yeah, I think it was 2020.
And so we're here in 2023. So 3 years. So we're I mean, if the sequel comes out within 3 years from now, we're
I think it will, man.
And then we can take it and run. We can make so many theories and previews.
They've already done the heavy lifting with like a lot of the design in game, like Hogwarts, the castle. Like that's kind of built. That it's not like starting from scratch.
Tear it all down.
Like, okay, we're starting all over again, guys. Like
explode it.
Yep. Reparo.
Oh my gosh.
All right, is it my turn?
Yeah, your turn. Your turn.
Lynette, go. I will say for the current game, I would say New Game Plus, just to give us something more, like some
Yeah.
reason to go back, a higher difficulty. And then for the sequel, I mean, I want all these things you guys have been talking about, but I'll just say like a morality system, like for where our choices actually have an impact on the story.
No, I'll take all of your stuff and add to it. No, so I think the big thing for me is the morality system. I want to feel like my choice matters in the Wizarding world.
Yeah.
So I think that's like maybe number 1 or 2 for everybody who's played the game, probably just a morality system. But for me, if I had to pick something different, I would jokingly say Merlin, but honestly, I
Is it
wouldn't
a
be
joke though?
It's not a joke, but
Not a joke.
I'm still hurt. I'm playing it. I'm just trying to be cool in front of everybody here. But
you know he's not coming in. You have to think Merlin is not coming.
yeah,
There.
I opened. We did. I have a subscription box with Wizarding Trunk. Shout out to Patronus Squad. And I actually got a medal of the Order of Merlin, and I just went on a tangent. But anyway, but I would say I would love to be able to cast a Patronus. I need that. I would love. Like we had that experience, like kind of at the end after when we defeated when we were battling Ranrock, and like I'm not going to spoil too much. Well, we spoiled a lot, but yeah, I'm sorry, it's spoilers, but yeah, if something happens where you have that Patronus moment during when you're battling Ranrock. But I would love to see Dementors and being able to cast a Patronus. I think that was a huge. I think that was a huge missed opportunity, more so than Quidditch, in my opinion. Being able to cast a Patronus in the game.
I could see a DLC trailer of that, like 4 or 5 witches or wizards, like standing there all by the lake, just casting their individual.
Yes,
I could see that as a big like advertisement. Like you can cast your own.
Well, Andy, I was saying earlier, I think you had to step away. I was talking about. I can't imagine that they built Azkaban, they made the Dementors, and I can't imagine that it was just for that 5-minute section of
the assets are there, man. They're there. So
they are.
You know, crazy.
But the one thing I just slightly going back, I feel like DLC or not, the only thing like someone was talking. I know people talking. Oh, I would love to take classes. I'm okay. You know, like
I'm the same
I would
way.
like better crafting, but like the way they were, the way they are right now, I'm fine with that. I don't need more classes. I want to do other stuff.
Yeah. I'm kind of with you. I'm glad you brought it up though, because I do feel like it's worth mentioning. There is a pretty vocal group of fans who wish that there was more in terms of how the classes were structured.
Yeah,
and not
agreed.
They did.
Agreed.
I heard a lot of people say they felt like they didn't feel like a student at Hogwarts. They felt like you check in and then you're really out. And I mean, I could see that. You're really
I
out
get
in the
that.
world.
I do. Sorry, man. Go.
Definitely not like the Persona route. They took more of a focus on the open world, which Hogwarts is great, but
I don't know. Like, I feel like they got the balance right because, you know, you've got to keep in mind those lukewarm fans and the people who are kind of indifferent about the game.
Yeah.
Are they spending $70 plus $60, whatever it is, to sit in a Harry Potter simulator classroom? No, they're not. Like, no, they're just not. Like, and that's fine. That's fine for realism.
Yeah.
You know, realism. You have to get a
Not
balance.
for an open world game.
Are people? Look, other people going to be coming home from work, sitting down and going, "Oh well, I've got 5 classes to do in my timetable before I can get out of the world." No, it's not going to happen. And I feel like those kind of people. Fair enough if that's your criticism, but like it's not realistic and it's not fun for people to have such a rigid format in a gameplay sense. Like it's not a simulator. So I feel like
this thing for the house points, right? Like the fact that that's not a system, I'm fine with that. I like when they say that, I'm like, oh, okay.
And I think that was another thing we found that was cut Is that what you said? How it was cut, Ben? The house point system?
Oh yeah, based on the leaks. Yeah, I read
Mhm.
about that. I read about that. That was in the game code that there was some house point stuff involved. But again, that's just based off what somebody else said. I haven't really heard anything else about it.
Yeah.
But no, I'm with you on that, Andy. Like I wanted the sim route and everything, but overall I think they did find the right balance and stuff.
Yeah.
I just think immersion wise it didn't make sense narratively for us to be a new student and then learn these spells and then try it on some well-trained poachers and dark wizards and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like narratively speaking, it didn't make sense. Like I wish the dueling club, whatever
That
it
was
called,
the other thing
that
I
was the
couldn't think
one.
of earlier, guys.
Yeah.
That's it.
That
Yes,
one.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. No, you're right.
we should have practiced spells within dueling club,
Cross
and that
wand.
should cross
Yeah.
wands. That should have been throughout. Honestly,
I enjoyed Dueling Club a lot.
so did I. So did I.
Todd says
Ooh.
Todd says he didn't want a sim for the game, and they came up with a good solution. And I completely
Yeah.
agree. I concur. Yeah, absolutely
Yeah.
good stuff there. I think that was
Yeah.
a good balance. Yeah.
Yeah. So my thing has always been, and if you hear me on Friggin' Nerds when I do my podcast and stuff, I'm always just narrative. I'm always like worried about how narratively how everything fits together. And if it doesn't make sense, it's going to take me out immediately with a lot of stuff. But I do understand it is a game and they're trying to make sure that people find ways to have fun with this game and continue to play. And like you said, the sim route was not it with something like this for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I said it last time and I'll mention it again. Like, just shout out to Todd and all the devs for the job that they had to do. I mean, this game had to appeal to so many different types of gamers.
Facts.
It's insane. And it largely did. Yes.
It did.
They had to appeal to people who I can't remember, Andy, somebody said like they literally bought PS5s to play this game. They had to appeal to people like that and people like us who play games all the time and did a pretty good job of hitting all those notes.
Okay, so something Todd brought up. I guess this is going to be news for you guys. This is something that's been in the works. Todd says I need to see if I can get permission to come and talk with you guys on stream.
Let's go.
This is something I've been talking to Chandler and a couple of cats over at Avalanche in regards to permissions, because they have to go through the red tape that is not only them, but WB Games, Wizarding World, Porky Games, just about talking to us, and stuff. But I have been communicating, trying to set up interviews. It probably will not be a live stream. It will probably be pre-recorded with already set up questions, but that is something that is currently in the works over at XpectoGO and something I've been trying to do since February. So
Nice, bro.
Yeah. So just be on the lookout for that. Yeah. But we would love to have you guys up there, Todd. Just let us know and we'll bring you up here on the panel and just berate you with questions. So
yeah.
A ton of questions. But yeah, hopefully we'll get stuff going soon. So yeah, it may be after the Switch. That's what I've been getting. That's what I've been thinking for sure, Todd. So because I know you guys are already busy. But yeah, breaking news. Probably coming pretty soon once they get the okay. So yeah.
Joe. Oh my gosh, Joe, that is killing me. If we buy some red tape and cut
Just
it,
the
will that help?
So great.
Shout out to Joe,
Yep.
the meme king. My first visit to Avalanche Software. They were referencing Joe's memes that he posted because he was like on it on a daily basis on Twitter, Reddit, everywhere. And they were referencing his stuff. So when I came back and was able to talk about it, I did a shout out in the video about Joe because they loved it. Because again, everybody thinks they watch the content creators and stuff and everything. I was like, no, they also read the subreddits and, and all that stuff. They pay attention. And it's not just Chandler. It's
their eyes everywhere.
It's everybody. So you never know. So don't be afraid to, if you have any ideas or if you have any criticisms, put it out there in the ethosphere because they will find it and apply it and possibly implement it if it works within their plans. So, keep feedback going because I think it not only helps you cathartically, like as a venting mechanism, like, oh, I wish they had this, but it also helps them figure out what the community wants. So,
dude, somehow
please keep sharing.
When I met Alan, he knew my actual first name. That blew me away. I'm like, I never say my first name. It's not like a secret, but I never say it. He's like, Jonathan, right? I
will never call him that ever.
Mr. Raconteur.
Oh my gosh.
Never.
Well,
Like
Alan
my
does
truck,
lurk in
I
all the
feel like.
streams. He said
He
that
does,
he
yeah.
lurks in
Yeah.
all sorts of stuff.
Hi,
Yeah.
Alan. If you're
Hello, Alan.
I always tell Cass, I was like, especially when I'm visiting Wednesdays, I was like, chat, behave. We don't know who's watching. Like, you never know. But awesome community. I think I know we're in good hands when it comes to this game, just based off of the product we put out and the people we've been fortunately able to meet, whether in person or online. And we're all excited about the sequel. Everybody say hi, Alan.
Yes.
And
he's been posting all along. We just don't know
I know.
his name.
Seriously.
Anybody.
But also, I'm looking forward to talking about other games with this panel because, like you said, like Lynette's covering stuff. Andy's always on it with Assassin's Creed. Ben is passionate about Lord of the Rings, but wants to try other stuff in retros, either doing Nintendo, PlayStation, or both. So you got a wide variety of great content coming from these awesome content creators. So I just wanted the opportunity to not only talk about Hogwarts Legacy, but talk about these amazing other games coming out in 2023 because we've gotten some good games and we got some great games coming.
So many.
So many stuff. And so
We are nerds and we like to talk.
Yes. So I'll try to have another panel, whether it's next month or whenever. But we're definitely doing this again, and meetup stuff. We'll continue to talk and see if we can plan something else. But that being said, I didn't think we would go 3 hours, but we did, and we got to start wrapping.
Andy's ready for bed.
Yeah. So
totally.
it's 10 o'clock.
It's 11. It's just gone 11 o'clock.
11 o'clock. Okay, so it's 6 hours.
I think last time it was like 4 or 5 hours, and I was like, it was like 1 or 2 a.m. and I was like, guys,
holding yourself up.
That's why I picked 3 because I was like, I know Andy's like at least 5 or 6 hours ahead of us. So I was like, we gotta get
fast.
it does.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Yeah. Cheers.
I
just want to say,
go ahead.
just want to quickly. Sorry, mate. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go for it, Andy.
I just wanted to thank you and everyone else here, and also the wonderful people in chat. I've had a terrific time. So I would really hope you invite me back and anyone else, and I hope that we can do this again because it's been super fun.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate it. So thanks very much, everybody.
Well, since you're talking, where can people find you, Andy?
Andy Reloads on pretty much everything, I think. If you haven't swung by, please do. It's always great to see a familiar face. So yeah,
Bro,
Andy Reloads on everything.
Closing in on 100K. Let's shout it.
Oh.
92.1.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go, dude.
We can make that happen today.
You know what?
Oh my god.
I'm ready to see
what?
you post a picture
Yeah,
of you
with the
with
What is that? The silver?
That
would
Silver
be-
That's
one?
amazing.
silver
I
play
think
button.
that's very kind of you guys to say. But it was that was the trade-off with the Hogwarts Legacy thing, like it was like, no sleep for a week, and that was the burst. But like, was it worth it? I don't know. That whole week's a blur. So
Hey, now you know for the sequel though, Andy. Take it slower.
Yeah.
If you want, I mean, maybe you want to just blast through it again too.
Yeah.
Every day I load up YouTube. Andy posted another video. This man is.
I honestly
my
was like this, just like. Hey guys, welcome back to another video.
Oh my God.
Re-record that for the 5th time.
I wish that had
Anyway.
like a face cam during that one. Oh my god. That would've been
No, you did not
hilarious.
want to see. You did not want to see that face cam. Anyway, you're very kind to say, but I think I'm going to be just taking it easy for the next couple months. To be honest, there's no like hard push for that. I think it'll happen when it happens, but like I'm knackered right now, so I just work and stuff. But anyway, thank you. That's very kind of you to say. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for sharing.
And I'm just going to throw this out there, Alan. I know you're watching, or Chandler, if you're done with your games and stuff. How about you for the sequel or even DLC? You give us like a week early access, so then that way we already have the content out there, ready to go, already set up in the queue, and then we can go back.
You
and
mean
play
a month,
live.
not a week, right? A
I was
month.
like, didn't we? Like
Yeah.
4 days?
I think we had like 3 or 4 days. I think we had it before it released, because I got mine's like that Thursday or Friday, and then it released that Tuesday.
I was like spamming their email box, I think, on the Friday
Because it was taking a minute.
I know that they like
we
go
didn't
home.
even know if we were
obviously.
gonna. Like, I
so,
didn't. I don't know if you guys knew. Like, I didn't know if I was getting one or not.
No,
I didn't know
I
if you would do that or.
I asked them again, obviously with me and my questions when I was down there. I was just like, yo, early access, what's going on with that? Am I going to get a code?
Oh my God. I need a whole recreation of this event, because the way you're describing it sounds hilarious.
I was like, see Andy like this, like, yo, so like, let's go.
In the corner, just like,
Sequel immediate.
waiting for an opening. Just like, yo, code? What's going on with that?
Swarm.
Like keeping track of how many drinks they've had. Okay.
Do you need another butterbeer? Moira, tell me more about this narrative.
Oh my God.
Anyway,
Dude, wasn't that
I'm learning right now.
iPhone
I'm learning. I'm taking notes.
There was an iPhone that got left in a bar years ago. Remember that? I think it was the iPhone 4 that someone at Apple testing it. They were in the bar and they left it there.
Oh my gosh.
You remember that?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I was going around. Also, you know what? We have to do pirouettes. I forgot about that. So
I need to take a bio break real quick, because it's been like 3 hours.
Okay, do it.
But I will be back and ready to pirouette.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we'll do.
Elwin, I do. I really do.
We'll do a pirouette, and we normally
my mom's watching my kids right now.
Yeah,
let me let her know.
So did you, with the codes? Then when did you guys get it? Like was it on the Friday, or was it?
I think it was either Thursday or Friday.
Thursday. I can't remember.
Somewhere.
I can't remember when, but I was literally. It was like outsourced to like a PR team.
Yeah.
And so they deal with all the annoying people like me on the email, being like, "Hello, me again for the 5th time today. Where the hell is this code?" Like,
and it's funny because they use the same people per se. Because like I'd worked with some of them with Wizards Unite. And so
okay.
When we ran into like some of the cats there, I was just like, yo, Alan, yo, so-and-so, like, it's kind of like, oh, you're doing this. Ruby, the same way. I worked with her and stuff. I think that was Retro's contact and everything. So they do a good job of like using the same people. And so if you have a good experience with a content creator as a person in that position working with social media people, then they're like, hey, I had an amazing experience with Lynette. Let's see if we can invite her here for this game. I had an amazing experience with Andy. Let's see if we can invite him for this. So
they're like, no, he was asking too many questions. He cornered me in a back room.
Oh no, not that reload guy again.
Oh my gosh.
God damn it, that's the 5th email today.
Wait, where did Ben go? I didn't know he had a potty break.
Replying to me, Mr. Reload. Please stop emailing. Please,
I love
please
it.
stop emailing. We will get back to you. Thank you, Mr. Reloads. Good day.
Let's get everybody's outros right quick. So we got Andy's. Let's do retro right quick. Let's go retro.
Oh, thanks everyone for being here. You'll find me. I'm Retro Raconteur all along the internet. YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. You'll find me there.
And I will be sure to have everybody's links, at least to the YouTube channel, in the description. I did it through StreamYard, so it was a kind of like a fish out of water type situation. This is my second time ever using the software, so forgive me, but I'll have all of that updated in YouTube Studio for you guys who are watching this on replay. So appreciate it. Lynette, where can people find you?
Yes, find me at WizardPhD on YouTube, Twitch, TikTok. If you're on Twitter, at Prof Lynette, it's Lynnette. And yeah, I'm actually I'm taking a little break from content for the next
That's
3
right.
weeks, just
That's right.
refresh. But I may
Good
be
to do.
posting some videos. Like I'm working on them right now to just have people
Yeah.
be entertained.
Yeah.
Love it, love it, love it. Enjoy the break. Enjoy the break.
Yes,
Well deserved.
yes.
Well deserved. Benjamin, where can people find you?
You can find me at Ben Snow, or simply look for Benjamin Snow. Anywhere, Twitter, Instagram, and here on YouTube as well. Yeah, no breaks at all. I don't think I'm taking. But yeah, when there's sometimes 3 hours off in the evening, I take that.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay, so we're gonna do two things. We're gonna do quickly a group pirouette.
Mhm.
What we're gonna take our headphones off. I'm just gonna count to when I get to 3. Then we're trying to do a pirouette as a group together.
So hold on. What is the main function of a?
I got you. I got you. I got you.
Break,
All you
break
gotta
it down
do.
for me.
I'm with
All you
you.
gotta
Andy.
I need to
do.
rotate the camera first, though.
Okay. All you got to do is, if you're right-handed, I would recommend turning to the right, because that way you'll get more momentum turning. So I have my right hand. I usually turn this way.
Okay.
And what you want to do is close your arms. That'll give you more speed when you're turning as well, and also allow you not to hit stuff that's around in your room. But you can lift your leg up when you do it, but you're turning on one foot.
Oh.
You're turning on one foot, and you're kind of going in this pose. So if you're like looking at my body, like you're going here, that's the proper way to do it. Wait, yeah, that's the proper way to do it. You
So
go in
in
there.
which way do
Oh,
you
can
spin,
I-
James?
I
Can I
usually
see a?
a
Can I see a
practice.
try? Can I see a try? Yeah.
Yeah, I got you. I got
yeah.
you. Trial run. Okay. I
Please.
usually spin. I like going the other way.
Outside?
Yeah, but
I
you're
hate-
usually supposed to spin to the outside.
Oh, so I went the wrong way the
Yeah.
other day.
So if you're like here, so I'm right-handed. So I'll usually go right foot is back and my hand is here, and I'm pushing and
Oh.
turning on my left foot. So I'll go here and turn.
This
then
is some
land.
Billy Elliot stuff. Say no more.
Okay,
Pat.
yeah,
Pat.
I think
Now,
that's how I
You
did
don't
it.
have to
Say no
hold
more.
this thing. You can just turn
Problem is,
and
I'm
spin
really tall.
one
I
foot while keeping your right foot kind of elevated a little bit, so you don't like
I must say, I'm
cross
very
your
much
feet and,
impressed.
like fall on your face and stuff. So
about this it's a very.
So,
This is a
this
very.
is what we're about to
interesting
do.
breakdown.
I hope it works out. So I think Ben's camera is ready. We're waiting on Ben to get ready.
Okay, I hope you're ready for
Then we'll
these
do a
pins,
count.
I'm
everyone.
trying to. I'm super tall. I can't. I'm not
Oh
gonna
my gosh.
fit.
Just have your head cut off.
All right. Yeah, you turn to the right. So you turn to the right.
Dude,
Here.
get in the zone.
So. All right, you ready?
How'd you position
Okay.
yourself again? I want to be Billy Elliot or something.
1, 2, 3.
Thank you and good night. Thank you and good night, everyone. Absolutely nailed it.
Hey, let's go. Good job.
Sign me up,
everybody.
Royal Ballet.
Good job.
That's all I'm gonna say.
I know that's already been clipped and shared like 80,000 times already. So,
Yeah,
yeah. Good job, everybody. Good job.
nice.
It's a ritual we do, and last ritual before we get out, chocolate frog, something we've been doing for the past 3 years. I need everybody to take a pick what they expect we're going to get out of this chocolate frog chat. Feel free to chime in before we get out of here, because I know Retro has to go. What do you think?
It's Merlin.
Hengist of Woodcraft.
Hengist of Woodcraft. Okay.
Dumbledore.
Dumbledore.
Ooh.
Okay. Ben.
Oh, it's Dumbledore.
Ben, what do you think we're going to get here in the
Oh,
Chocolate Frog?
Dumbledore.
Ooh.
Dumbledore.
That's two Dumbledores. We got a Hengist. We got a Hengist and a Merlin from Retro. Now, I got Merlin and Dumbledore yesterday.
Oh.
I got Merlin, so my luck might have run out, but I'm going for Merlin as well. Always. All right. 1, 2, 3.
Oh,
Rowena.
Yes.
Rowena? Yeah.
I almost said Helga,
I can
but
see the diagram.
I don't think I have her. Nice.
Yeah, that's Rowena.
How
I'll
many?
be sure to
How
send
many
it
are
to you.
in there? Like in the pack? Like
How many
So-
possibilities?
So,
And how many? Like,
how many
How many
are in
options?
the box or options?
yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Like
So you
possible cards.
So you got the 4 founders, you got Dumbledore, you got what's his name? Ollivanders, then you have Hengist of Woodcroft, then you have Bertie, then you have Amelia, then you have
This
who's
is
the-
top knowledge.
yeah, this is how many cards we've opened. I have
Jacunda
all of
Sykes.
them. I have all, Jacunda, that's the
Is that-
Amelia. That's the first, I
Devlin.
guess, worldwide travel in the broom. The person who
Yeah.
developed the brooms, Devlin Whitehorn, I think is what it was.
Is there
I'm
is
trying
there
to
like a
think.
super rare one which is kind of like 0.2? Like when I don't know if you McDonald's do it over there with you guys. They do like
Yeah.
McDonald's Monopoly, but like down here in May. Have you not heard of that?
Yeah, no, yeah, we do.
Like, well, we
Oh,
have
yeah.
like Mayfair, which is like one of the most primetime real estates here in the UK. Mayfair, like in London. So, like, obviously, you get Mayfair, match it up. You know, you're going on holiday, but that never
Yeah.
drops. Is there like something like you never get that in your Big Mac?
Boardwalk and Park Place over
Yeah.
here.
Oh,
I
nice.
think Merlin is up there in regards. Merlin and Dumbledore are up there in regards to
Oh,
rarity.
nice.
Because it's easy to come across the founders. I don't normally see a lot of Ollivander either.
Yeah.
So like this whole box right here, I've already given away a ton, but
Oh, wow.
this whole
Nice.
box is
Goodness.
from Chocolate Frogs and stuff.
So, how much? I would love to like just sit on a stream, with about 20 boxes and just
Yo.
go, "Hey guys."
That can be part
What's
of the
next?
Orlando meetup.
That can
we
be
just
part-
buy
Yeah.
some
Oh,
Yeah.
cards
Every
and
time we get a Dumbledore, I drink a pint.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And he's just gonna chug them. Well,
Drinking
Yeah.
I
game.
just neck a pint, just get it
Yep.
down.
Because
be like, oh, this weak bear.
I actually have 2 boxes. They're all from the community, but this is the one I've been using for the past like couple of months. Usually
Oh.
open 2 a week. I just got a new box yesterday from John, aka Psycho CPA. Shout out to Patronus Squad. And so they usually come like 24, 30 something in these bigger boxes like this. But then you got the 10 ones with the actual, like, I forgot what octagon or whatever shape it is, with the big chocolate frog. That's a lot of chocolate.
Right.
Mhm.
And the fancy card and stuff. So it just depends on what you fancy. But these are pretty fun to do at the end of the stream. People guess.
Oh
and,
yeah, man. For sure.
We actually have a lot of stuff going on.
End of stream. That would be like 5 hours of streaming for me. Like that would be insane. That sounds like so much fun. Oh my god.
It's a lot of fun. Definitely helps with community engagement, and my kids enjoy eating the chocolate, so it's a win-win.
Yeah,
It's a win-win.
Win-win.
But anyway, man, I'm not gonna hold you guys up.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Thank you guys
Sorry.
so much. Obviously, you can find us XpectoGO on all various forms of social media, and of course, Discord. I think almost just about everybody has a Discord, so check them out as well if you want to just hang out, talk, or whatever. But thank you to the panel. Thanks to chat. You guys have been awesome hanging out this entire time. Thanks for the likes. Thanks just for the community overall, and of course, Avalanche Software. Shout out to you guys. We love your game. We love to have insight on the DLC and sequels sometime soon. So holla at your boy. But anyway, I hope you guys have a good rest of your Thursday or Friday, wherever you are in the world. Because it's late, and we'll see you guys in the next one if I can find the end screen.
Well,
there it is.
Great sign off.
Bye, guys.
Yeah, no.